Hello, everyone. Terri Hardin, Walt Disney's legendary Imagineer, here live and in person on this lovely Monday, August 30th. Yeah, wow. I think there's a birthday across the street. I might have to say hi to somebody. Happy birthday to a young man across the street. I just thought of that. You may have noticed I started 5 minutes later today at 9:30. Over the weekend, working very, very hard on my projects. Many of you know I'm doing the Roly Crump chess set. For those of you just joining us, feel free to comment, say hello, how you doing? Every Friday I have Ask Me Anything Friday, and that's a chance you can ask your questions and I will show you. Basically, I've done everything from played the temple dog that Sigourney Weaver turns into in Ghostbusters, to playing Trixie and Big Al in Country Bears, to creating the Dragon's Lair, to working with people like Dolly Parton and Michael Jackson, blah, blah, blah. Google me. Terri Hardin. But I'll show you I can show you some of those things today, but you're welcome. And if you're not seeing this live, please post in the comments and just say hello, okay? But the busy weekend is the Roly Crump chess set, which if you go to my Patreon page, Terry's Tribe, that's where your voice can be heard, and I'd love to hear it. We gather. We have a Zoom call every Wednesday and a live broadcast at the beginning of these. So before I come and see you, I speak with them. They're my private little tribe of amazing people that are just creative brains. Now, if you don't think you have a creative brain, I urge you to come to Patreon and we can change your mind. So I'm going to post that really quickly. And just so you know where to go if you want to go. But on Patreon, this is where I show the chess set very exclusively, show it a lot, and kind of talk about what some of the things I'm going through when I'm doing it. And more on that later. So how about these Genie passes? I thought about this. I'll tell you. The thumbnail, it was almost a toss-up. It was like there's a couple of things that are really happening in the Disney news. And I'm not all about Disney news. Honestly, if you want really tried and true Disney news, there's a lot of places out there like micechat.com and WDW News and Defunct Land and stuff like that. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, Google them. They are great places to get up to the date and speak with people up to the date on news and stuff. You've got the Theme Park Gals. They're a podcast out of London. You've got the Disney Dream Girls. Really, everybody has got far better knowledge than I do. And, but I give you my opinion. Some of you may say, why? Why should we care? Well, you don't have to care. But I see something come across and I watch my sort of outsider reaction to stuff like this. Because as an Imagineer, I am, what is the word? I have access. There's a good word. I have access to certain things Disney. No, I'm afraid I don't get free passes. That's not the Imagineer I am. I am known as the come here, get away Imagineer, which means they pull me out of the box when they need help. And when they're done, they say, see ya. Now, you might think this is kind of a rough way to go, because if you've ever had one of those jack-in-the-boxes, bloop, 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 that can sometimes jolt ya. And then when you push it back in the box, snap to bloop, 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 bloop. That's kind of me. Here I am, ready to work. Okay. That's the come here, get away, Disney Imagineer. But before I was that, before I was the come here, get away Imagineer, I worked in the studios. I worked at Imagineering for about 10 years, off and on, meaning, come here. I actually bounced around between Walt Disney Pictures and Disney Imagineering, because when Disney Imagineering was kind of waiting for me to get my next project, I was loaned over Disney Pictures to work with Muppets. I did Muppet 3D Theater with Jim Henson. And I would go back and I would work over there on Muppet 3D Theater's actual sculptures that made the theater. Also programmed the penguins for that. So this is something that if you work for Disney in this capacity, if you keep your ears open and your eyes open, there are ways that you can kind of do that. It was very unusual for a person to travel around in all those different venues, but I'm one of these people that came from the film industry. And so I'm used to bouncing around. I did Dune, I did Ghostbusters, I did Men in Black 1 and 2, Indian in the Cupboard, blah, blah, blah. Country Bears. I got to say Country Bears. You Disney guys, like, what about the Country Bears? Country Bears and stuff of this nature. So, but when I was there, I was doing, I'm looking. Where are you, my love? Why are you not in the front? I don't know, but that's all right. I can find it. There it is. I did the Dragon's Lair, which many of you go, I know that dragon because you watched the castles. If you own Disney Plus, you watched the behind the attractions castles and you saw this dragon in action there. Now, you might be asking yourself, why didn't they interview me? I'm asking the same question. No, because I am this type of Imagineer, I'm not on... I'm not as I'm accessible, but do they, how do we say this tactfully? I guess I don't. I have no catalytic converter on my mouth, but basically they want to make sure that people, when they speak on these things that they're going to put that represent their company, that they're going to say things that they want somebody who's not, well, I always say what I think and I always tell the truth. Not that they don't want you to tell the truth. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying as I speak, I tell you everything, and I will here too. But they may or may not want you to say anything. I don't know why they wouldn't want you to say anything. In this case of the Dragon's Lair, I also did Big Thunder Mountain. There's my friend Vasily Viralis and we did that while I was an Imagineer back in the day when we were building Disneyland Paris. Check out that hair. Holy cats. Anyway, that's me. That's my thing. And so... back to the thumbnail, which is the Genie Plus Pass, okay? And I got to be honest with you, I didn't really, when I go to Disneyland, because I am an Imagineer and I live in the area, okay? I live in this area, and because of that, all I can tell you is, hold on a second, this light is being a bit crazy. There, that's better. Well, sort of better. Anyway. I don't get free tickets, but I'm able to have a pass and deduct it on my taxes because I'm a Disney artist, okay? And you can look at my work, and I'm always doing Disney stuff as well as my own stuff, so that is really glaring. Terry's like, I can't see. But anyway, also, there's that. So I can deduct it on my taxes. So I can get a pass like the Magic Key passes and deduct it on my taxes because I do a lot of work with and for Disney, okay? But the thing I was going to tell you is I don't really grab fast passes. I know about fast passes, the free fast passes. I tried for them in China. Forget about it. You can't get them in Shanghai. I think they camp right by the station that output the tickets, and they were gone in a blink. So I never got those. And I didn't really go for it because there are other ways that I might be able to get on an attraction. That's all I'm going to say. So I always am watching when fans start to comment about their hearts being broken over something that Disney has done. And a lot of times Disney will do something like, for example, they're going to change Splash Mountain into Princess and the Frog. And no matter how you feel about it, I don't think I heard a lot of fans going, oh, I'll never go to Disney ever, and I'm never going to go to Disney again because of that switch. They just won't ride the ride, okay? If they want it to be Splash Mountain and they're upset, they won't ride the ride. And if it's Splash Mountain for a long time and they don't like Splash Mountain, they just won't ride Splash Mountain until it becomes Princess and the Frog, blah, 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 blah. Okay, but this is different, isn't it? This Genie Plus. One of the things that I noticed when I was reading about this Genie Plus pass is that it is poisoning the genie from Aladdin. Have you noticed this? Please post in the comments if you've noticed this. because this was a little surprising to me that not only was these passes not cool, and this is what a lot of people are saying, the Genie Plus pass is just not cool. It's just not cool. And what is the Genie Plus pass? A pass you pay for. So basically, it's this new president who seems to be, I hate to say it, he seems to be all about the money. As a shareholder, you might be going, yay. But as a fan and a follower and a guest of Disney, you could be crying in your coffee a lot. And by the things I've read, that's exactly what you're doing. You're crying in your coffee. And many are hating the Genie. Many are saying that to see that Genie's face attached with these passes has upset them so much that they can't even watch Aladdin. And that's a drag. That's really a drag. You know, that really caught my attention. So I decided to just talk about it a little bit, because there are many areas that we've spoken about before where you have been feeling like you're a cash cow only to be milked. And you're heartbroken because you love Disney. Disney is your Disneyland, and Walt Disney World are your places to rejuvenate, to be inspired, to have fun, to meet your friends. And now many of you are saying, we got to think of something else. Here in California, people are going to Knott's Berry Farm, and don't think that Knott's Berry Farm is more than happy to catch you like a catcher in a ball club. They want to catch you and make you happy because they'd love for you to come and make them their new meeting spot. And so many people have spoken about how the annual pass to Knott's Berry Farm is extra special at just a little over $100, I understand. And they have food breaks on food so that it doesn't cost you your firstborn to go there. And a lot of people are feeling like, it's my firstborn that's going there. I gotta sell my kids, or I gotta sell my car, or I gotta sell something just to afford to go to Disneyland. And now, if I want to ride on a special attraction or ride, I'm being told I got to buy a Genie pass. And in Walt Disney World, that day pass is $15. And here at Disneyland, it's $20 per person per day. A family of four is what? Do the math. $80. $80 on top of what you've already spent to get these Genie passes. How do you feel about that? Let me know how you feel about it. I can say I'm not going to do it, but I don't go to Disneyland to see the attractions and ride the rides anymore. No, and you're going to say, what? But I'm an Imagineer. I'm coming to see you guys. So what happens is my pass is strictly because you will reach out to me in one way or another. Maybe it's a birthday, maybe it's an artist that you have in the family, maybe it's just someone who wants to meet an Imagineer. It doesn't matter. If I'm available, all I ask you to do is buy me lunch or buy me a coffee, and we'll sit and we'll chat. And we walk around the park, and I can talk about stuff. I might ride an attraction with you, but I don't have to be on the attraction now. And I'm a Star Wars fan from 1977, and I stood in line for 3 days in 1980 to get the first ticket to The Empire Strikes Back. So I'm used to standing in lines. Yeah. So that doesn't bother me either. And so fast passes were never a draw for me, but that doesn't mean they weren't a draw. They were a big draw. People love these fast passes. And I can remember I went to Club 33, and a member gave me fast passes from Club 33, which is any ride, anytime, and they gave me one, and I like that. I thought that was fun, but I had to sit and think about what I was going to use it on, because, wow, what do I use it on? Now, here's the caveat. You'd think that if you paid your $15 a day, which might not sound like much, or your $20 a day, that you could get on every ride. But Chapek again, bless his little fuzzy little heart. Aren't you loving this guy? He mentions that that's not all the attractions, that they will be charging additional for things like Rise of the Resistance, and I'm trying to think of maybe, I don't know, I don't know any others, but Rise was the one that popped in. So in Walt Disney World, could it be Tron and Rise of the Resistance when Tron's open? Because Tron is coming to Walt Disney World. Could Pandora be something that you have to pay the extra money to ride to actually get on that ride? I actually waited. When did Pandora open? It was like 4 years or 5 years ago. I just rode it in 2020. It was the last trip I took before we had the lockdown for the pandemic. So, and we waited an hour. We went very late in the evening and we waited an hour so I could get on it. But I've been there, done that. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. But I waited 4 years because I visit with people. And my dear friend, John, took me on the attraction. We went together. We rode it. It was fabulous. I really, really enjoyed it. I absolutely loved it. I bought myself one of the little dragons so that I could have him here. He's a puppet. So you have me at in puppet all the time because I'm a puppeteer with the Jim Henson Company, I'm a professional puppeteer and Jim Henson hires me. But I've been a Muppeteer since almost as long, maybe a little less than I've been Imagineer, but years with them. Yeah. So I love puppets. Yeah. All kinds of puppets. Yes. So I fell in love with that. But the point is that my needs are different from your needs. So I read to find out what your needs are because I want to talk to you about it. Because this to me sounds crazy. Are any of you paying this? Is it a benefit to pay it? Are any of you a family of four and you laid down that $80 and so that you could get in and out and pay? I mean, what does that bill look like? You pay for tickets, you pay for food. Sometimes it's lodging, right? And now you're going to pay for this on top of it. What does that bill look like? It can't be easy. You guys have got it. It can't. I mean, there are those that it's a drop in the bucket. We know that. Elon Musk is going to be going to Disneyland. He could probably buy Disneyland, right? But we're not all Elon Musk, are we? Or Branson or the guy who Facebook dude. Sorry, Facebook dude. I'm just not that great with names. But the point is if you're super wealthy, rich, and supercalifragilistic, it's not a problem. But Walt wanted everyone to enjoy Disneyland, didn't he? He wanted it to be for everyone from a tiny child all the way up to an elderly person. And that's why there's benches along Main Street. So if you're a silver-eared person, you can kick back and just people watch. In Disneyland, there's an actual group called the Porch Sitters. And they sit on that porch on Main Street and watch people go by. That's what they do. They're an actual club. So this is what Walt was encouraging, is he wanted people to be able to relax and look at mallard ducks or listen to beautiful music, watch the Dixieland bands, hear the a cappella groups, listen to the guy at the piano at Coke Corner, just have a nice relaxy day, or be one of your wild and crazy folks to see how many rides you can get in one day. I did that as a kid. Okay. And I'm always going to ride an attraction I have not yet seen. I've not yet seen Avengers, and look at the date. Here I am. I live here. So I'll eventually see Avengers. And I've also not seen the new Jungle Cruise, which I hear is very interesting. Some say it's rather bland. But the point is, would you do this? Because they're saying that not only is this something they do not want to do, I don't know if you're doing it, let me know, but that it's spoiling the genie, one of our favorite characters in Aladdin, done by Robin Williams, the late Robin Williams, right? Yeah. So that's why it struck my attention. It was between this and Marvel, because my husband was telling me there's Marvel movies coming out, and I thought I was watching the credits in a movie. What? So we might talk about that later. But that's another thing that made my eyes cross. Okay. So Genie Plus Pass, what the heck? And then Marvel. I'm not a Marvelite, so I was looking at it going, maybe I'll just pass on everything. And you Marvelites can tell me which movies I should go see and not. And they all intertwine. And my husband pointed out, one thing he pointed out about Marvel is there's yet another Spider-Man movie. I don't get it. I really don't get it. And that now some characters are male when they were female and female when they were male. I mean, you need a map, don't you? So that's another story. But let's see what you have to say. And welcome, welcome today. It's Monday. Bob Burdine, hello. Michael Clark, good morning. Just watched the blogger JP Land last night. They rode every ride. You see what I mean? So Michael is pointing out right there a blogger who rode every ride at Disneyland, Michael, or at Walt Disney World. If he rode every ride at Walt Disney World, he's still blogging, right? Because there's Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios. Is it still called Hollywood Studios? The Magic Kingdom, and Epcot, which is my favorite. If I go, I pretty much, you got to, pull me out of Epcot while my nails are cracking on the sphere. You have to pull me kicking and screaming out of Epcot because I love Epcot. It's my favorite park down there. But there's a lot to do down there at Walt Disney World. So if it's every ride at Walt Disney World, that's quite an accomplishment, isn't it, Michael? Good for them. Maybe I'll just watch them, save myself the trouble, right? Hello, Deanna. Mice Chat is one of the best. Yes, Dusty Sage, he just has a great group. I used to write for them. And Dusty, bless his heart, has been asking me to write for them again. And if you have an idea on what I should do, I want to do them shorter. I used to write these blogs that were pretty long, like a page. And I would like them to be maybe not a thought of the day, which is like, a few sentences, but maybe like a paragraph. What could I talk to you every so often about a paragraph? Maybe it's my thought of what's happening. What am I doing today? Maybe it's Terry, what are you up to? Stuff like that. Anyway, if you have any ideas, let me know. But he has been asking me to come back and write. And I loved Mice Chat. That's when I was really introduced to Mice Chat, because they were gearing up. Now they were hot then. I'm not going to say they were never. I don't think there was ever a time when Mice Chat was cold. But now they're caliente, muy caliente. They are on fire. So they're a great site. They were very helpful with me when I got my magic key last Wednesday. They helped me to know what time it was going to launch. And then I also, there's a club called the Once Upon a Classic Club. Shout out to Once Upon a Classic, who wrote to me and said, you can wait. Don't do it like right away. You can do it later. And I didn't do that because I wanted a particular pass for a particular reason. And I knew if that pass was gone, I wasn't going to buy a pass. So I went ahead and went in on the day at the time. They were launching, not before 10 a.m., but that didn't mean it was going to be after 10 a.m., which is what it ended up being. I think the passes started selling maybe around 10:20 or something like that. But see, these are the key things you've got to look with when you watch Disney, is Disney will say not before 10 a.m. Doesn't mean that it could be after, right? And more than an hour. Once you got in the queue, it was more than an hour. So you knew it wasn't going to be less than an hour, but you didn't know how much more than an hour. You just knew it was going to be more than an hour. But when you think about being online at your computer, you're not watching it like television. At least I hope you're not. I sat and sculpted, and then I chatted with my tribe because it was on Wednesday. So we were on a Zoom call actually having like a little race. What's your bar look like? What's your bar look like? And it was kind of fun. It was like a little party. Virtual party, sitting in our air conditioning or our Barcalounger with our cat or our dog on our lap, just waiting for the bar to say, "You're next." It was great. You could have been told that you could only get it at the park at the stands, which they wouldn't do because of the pandemic, guys. That was not going to happen. But my point is, you'd be out in the hot sun, sweltering, wishing you had gotten more water, and your legs are hurting, no way to sit. I mean, this was a great way to buy the passes. I thought it was awesome. I did have to choose, forgive me, that's my breakfast. I did have to choose between internet, Disney.com, or the app, and I chose the internet because the app crashes, and guess what the app did? Crashed. So you just got to make those choices if you really want it. And it was a 3-hour wait for me, but I got a lot of work done. So I was in my studio right here getting my work done. So it worked out great, and I got my pass, and I was happy. Later, I talked to a lot of you who reached out to me to tell me that you had done it that evening or maybe the next day, and the wait was maybe 20 minutes or so. So good for you. I didn't want that stress. If I had been kind of meh, any pass will do, I would have been fine. But I had to have a particular pass because I have one thing that means more to me than anything, and that's parking. If I don't get parking, I'm not happy. I got to have free parking. I think it's, you tell me, is it a California thing? I know with me, it's a California thing. Born and raised in California, and the happiest day of my life while working on the TV show Dinosaurs, which is Not the Mama, Not the Mama, Not the Mama, was not the fact that I got to do Baby Sinclair. That was exciting, okay? To be on Team Baby was amazing. But I had a parking space with my name on it, and no one could park there. And if someone did, I could have them towed. That was like my favorite thing, because having your own parking space is golden out here. I mean, seriously, it is. So that was wonderful. LOL, says Deanna. Yes to you too, dear. Michael J. Corey, how the heck have you been? Your ears must have been burning. Isn't it really called Rat Chat? No. They tell all kinds of positive stuff there. Rat Chat would be if they were just dissing them all the time. And I don't think that Disney would actually allow you to diss Disney all the time. And I don't think the fans would allow you to diss Disney all the time. No one would. No one. No. We don't diss the people we love, right? And I love the company. I will say I will let them know when I think they're doing something wrong. And I don't need to usually. You guys do. The fans out there, you guys are very protective of your little park. And I'm very of the little park, which is Disneyland, and of the bigger ones, which is Walt Disney World, and all of the ones all over the world. So special. In fact, when I was watching the castle thing on Behind the Attractions, they were very, very close-mouthed about Hong Kong. Hong Kong duplicated our castle. If you've seen this, they did duplicate the Disneyland castle because they love the Disneyland castle. But the mountains in Hong Kong made the castle look like it was about look like a jewel box. Looked like you could wind a big key, ding, 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 and the princess would pop up. So they decided to rebuild the castle for the first time in history because Hong Kong deserved not only their own castle, but they deserved one that people weren't like, that's it. You know, they walk up and they go, looks like a jewel box. Where's the castle? You know, talking a high voice. Yeah, so that's what main reason. Hong Kong, they decided, because Hong Kong loves their park like we love Disneyland. Oh my gosh. People told me that Hong Kong was a tiny park and that I could see it in a day. I am an artist, so no, I can't see it in a day. And I didn't see it in a day because I was given a special tour and I got to meet the people and I got to learn about each and every ride. I learned about feng shui and I absolutely fell in love with the Hong Kong park. It is one of my favorites. I'm just going to say that because I love Paris because, of course, my dragon's in it. But and it was a great park to be a part of. But I'll always have a good spot in Disneyland because that's where Walt walked. There was no other park that Walt walked. He died before Walt Disney World, and I wish he could have walked through there too because it's a great accomplishment. But ours is where Walt walked, and I think we need to remember that. I don't think we need to change Disneyland up. I've fought this. I've said, leave it alone. Just keep it clean and keep it going because a lot of millennials and young people love retro. And since Walt built it in the 50s and they love the 50s, leave it alone. You know, let people come and see what Walt's vision was of Tomorrowland. Yeah, he always wanted it to change, but he's got other parks he can change. This one, you might, you know, parents like to take people to ride their rides. That being said, polishing certain attractions like the Haunted Mansion and Snow White could be cool. So I remember when I saw Snow White and the blue fairy appeared and then she disappeared into dust. I thought that was amazing. And I love that. The Queen in the window in Fantasyland. Amazing. So making it more interesting, but keeping it true to the attractions that Walt designed, I think is a great way to go for Disneyland in Anaheim. My opinion only. If you disagree, post in the comments. I won't call you any names. I don't do that. You have a right to your opinion as I have mine, yeah? But I will tell you, that's a park we shouldn't be messing with too much. You know, I'm a Star Wars nut, but I don't think walking through walking past the Hungry Bear restaurant to get to Star Wars is a good plan. Or walking through Toy Story to get to it in WDW. I don't know what they were thinking. That was like, I don't believe that would have happened if Walt were alive. He would have figured something else out because that's what he did. That's what his team did. You know, that's what we all did. I wasn't around when he was alive. I mean, I was around, but I wasn't working at Imagineering. But I was working at a peak time when everybody was upbeat design. I worked with Herbie Ryman, Mark Davis, Tony Baxter, Marty Sklar. You name the Imagineer, I was there, shoulder to shoulder, side by side in most cases, and fell in love with most of them. And Tony Baxter, and I quote, said it was one of the best times to be an Imagineer, and lucky me, that's where I was. So I'm protective of the park like you are. I'm very protective of Disneyland. I don't think we need to modernize Disneyland. I think we need to leave it alone so people can see what Walt's vision was. I think that's the attraction, because once it's gone, it's gone. We can't see that anymore. We can see it in books. We can watch it on Disney Plus. But as many of you have said, who may have bought the Genie Pass because you got to be on that ride, yes, the Genie Plus Pass, you may have gotten on that ride because you need to ride that ride every time you're in Disney. Maybe it's a tradition with you. Okay, here in Anaheim, we have Mr. Toad's. I would just lose it if I didn't have Mr. Toad's. It is my favorite ride. If I'm going to ride one ride, it's Mr. Toad's. Then it's Pirates, then it's Haunted Mansion. And in Haunted Mansion, we have the Hatbox Ghost, don't we? There's nothing wrong with bringing in some elements that they tried to do back then but couldn't, and now they can, like the Hatbox Ghost, which is delightful, or the Bride and the Missing Husbands, which is delightful. You know, no complaints there. I absolutely love when they do that. The new Madame Leota that floats. Oh my God. Yes, keep it coming, keep it coming, keep it coming. Because I know if Walt were alive today, that's what he'd be doing with the rides. But that's my feeling on that. I know I'm kind of going off on a tangent, sort of. It's still Disney-based, but this is what you're here for. Those of you who are new to YouTube, new to Facebook, new to this live with me, it's not about teaching you how to be a YouTube star. I mean, look at my followers. I don't have a huge amount, but what I do have is USDA choice, okay? They're all over the world, creme de la creme, that's you guys, okay? So I'm about, if you're interested in hearing this conversation and chatting with me over here, stay, please. Subscribe, please. Ring the bell, please. Or just know that Mondays and Fridays I'm going to be doing this. And it's going to go from 9:25 to 9:30 now. Why? Because it just gives me 5 minutes to shift some things between my tribe on Patreon and you guys. And it's not shifting like, oh, this wire shouldn't be in the shot. It's more like I have a 4-camera system. I'll demonstrate it here. Hello. I have a 4-camera system and I want to be able to switch between the 4 cameras. On Patreon, I show my sculptures of the Roly Crumple. We talk about them as I work on them. So I cut to this camera right here. And this little camera right here, which is in the dark actually, but I'll light them. It's a new camera. Let me just find if I can highlight it a little bit so you can see what it looks like. Oops, there it is. Yeah, you can kind of see it. This light is not really trying. It doesn't want to show you it. It's like, no, I don't want to show you it. Don't make me show you it. Anyway, trust me, it's here. And I go from that angle to, okay, who's making me blind now? There we go. I go from that angle to these other angles here. And then the 4th camera, camera 4, is actually the one where I'm showing you visual aids. So I switch from my iPad, which if I cut to camera 3, my iPad's right here. So that I plug in after unplugging this camera, because on Patreon, we talk more intimately about what I'm doing, okay? So yeah, and then you got to remember which camera you're looking at. But that's kind of the deal. There we go. That's kind of the deal there. So so that extra 5 minutes I get off of now I have time to leave my live chat on Patreon with my tribe and get on this with you guys and switch some wiring around. It gives me that wiring. So I'm not late. So we'll see how that works. Great to see you, Michael J. Corey. What I was going to say about Michael Corey is he and I were at an event called Kamikaze, where I just felt like we were you know how you're in an event and you go, wow, this is not, I'm Disney and I'm in the middle of comic books and I didn't have a comic book. I'm working on that now, but I had like a book maybe. It just wasn't the best place for me to appear. They asked me to appear, but Michael and I sat next to each other and kind of showed them what we had, but I don't think it was a red letter day there. Happy Monday, Bonnie. Bonnie says, oh, wow, didn't know some people have said that about the Genie and the movie. That's disappointing. Yes, Bonnie. I look for these thumbnails, and a lot of times, like this one was yesterday. It took a long time to post a thumbnail in here, and the reason I did is because I was trying to decide: do I talk to you about Marvel? What little I know about Marvel, other than it looked. Too many colors, guys, makes the color mud. I'm just saying. Too many additives makes mud. It doesn't make a vibrant. And that's kind of the thought that came in my mind when my husband was telling me about all the Marvel things that are happening. My eyes were crossing and I was like, yeah, not interested. I feel so behind all the new updates with Disneyland's patches, merch, keys, reservations, etc. But do find my first thought is dollar bills. Yeah, well, yeah. So pandemic hits. Disney is locked down for a very, 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 very long time. Opens up in what was it? June or May? I think it was May 30th it opened to an extremely limited group of people. What was it, 25%? Appointment only. Well, what Disney realized is appointments were a great idea. And I kind of think that is a good idea, but the prices of the tickets, they had gotten rid of the annual pass. They had created something called the Legacy Pass, which most of us were calling the Band-Aid, and not the best Band-Aid because it really gave us some things, but not a lot. I think I've got a cool button here or something. They were doing the best they can, in all fairness to them, but they got rid of the annual passes. And the reason was just like you're saying here, Bonnie, okay, to keep track of who, stop paying on it, because in California, we can make payments here on our passes and, don't make payments. Or if you've paid for the year and now you can't go, what do we do about it? It just was a big mess. So I totally understand why Disney said, let's just give everybody, stop it, wait till the pandemic is over, and then we'll figure out what to do once we're back in business. And so I was kind of sad when that happened, but, to buy a ticket to both parks was pricey, wasn't it? And you hadn't even touched on lunch. Yeah, you could bring your lunch. And I know many who did. That saves it. But, you want your drink cool, cold if it's hot, warm if it's not. So it was challenging. And the trams still aren't running. There's another thing that's challenging right now at Disneyland. It's a long walk to the park, or you pay a little extra for parking in Crossover Harbor. Just so you know. So the point was that when the keys came, the Magic Keys announced earlier in July, I think they weren't they? End of July announced the Magic Key system, which was Dream Key and all these keys. Now, Magic Key was a pass that you got years ago that was a pass that you bought at Disneyland that didn't have an A, B, C, D, or E ticket on it. And it allowed you to ride all the rides. You paid a little extra money and you were able to ride all the rides. So it's kind of reminiscent. They dipped back into their history for that name. And I like it. I do. I like it. But yeah, so the passes, the Genie Plus passes are a thing that they were testing. They charge you extra and they do what's called a lightning line or something like that. It's a line that you can get into and get right to the front if you paid an extra $15 or $20 for the day, depending on if that attraction is on the list that you pay that money for. So in other words, it's not going to get you into Rise of the Resistance and it's not going to get you into some of the larger rides, I understand. It's just for a few others, like maybe Buzz Lightyear or something. But you can tell me if you think it's any good. And like Bonnie says, it's down to dollars. Well, what about the Disney dollars? Why in the world would you ever get rid of Disney dollars when it's like free money to your company? Nobody ever spent those. And if they did, there were very few that spent them. Most people kept them. They bought them for their collection and kept them. So it's free money, you know? It's just, I don't know, but you have a good point, Bonnie. That is absolutely a good point. The Genie pass is exactly, Deanna. Exactly. It is. A lot of people are saying exactly what you're saying. No way. But are you acting on it? It's kind of like when you complain that the product that's going through Disneyland is nuts, and then you show me all the product that you bought. Not nuts, like not pricey, but not attractive, like it's cruddy, like it's not good. Okay. This is one of the reasons that I do a lot of sculptures, is because a lot of the merchandise I'm seeing isn't attractive. It's not good. I go, what the heck is that? I don't understand what they're doing with products. Maybe it's because I'm 64. That could be it. But I think you should, in the days of the 50th anniversary for Disneyland, let me be specific because WDW's Walt Disney World is coming up, isn't it? The merchandise for the 50th was amazing. In fact, you all said, and I quote, I have to hold my paycheck close because I'll lose it at Disneyland. There's so many wonderful things I could buy. That was the 50th. Come the 60th, you didn't have to protect it. You didn't even have to worry about it because the stuff was garbage. And I was really upset about what they were offering for the 60th. And I hope Walt Disney World, you're going to have to tell me, because I'm not going for the 50th to the Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World, but you'll have to tell me how their 50th pulls off and if they gave you some nice products to remember it by. And I'm talking heirloom quality. One that you may invest a little more money in, but it's something that you're going to cherish for the whole time. You know, 50th anniversary had some killer things like that. For example, the Disney dollars I spoke of, I think it was Charles Boyer. He illustrated a collectible $50 bill that sold out, and I'm sure you still have them, but you were willing to save or sell something to get that collectible Disney dollar illustrated by that famous artist. And now, why would they get rid of such a thing? It's crazy. Not very expensive to produce, I'm telling you. To produce these, no, not expensive to produce. And the fact that many of us, including myself, bought them not to sell, not to spend the money. We weren't going to hand it back in, because that's what a Disney dollar is. You can give it to someone as a gift and they can spend it at Disneyland, and it is legal, or was legal tender, right? Actually money. But I bought them, like, for example, when I was in Japan, I did an appearance in Japan. I bought the Pirates of the Caribbean, which had each ship on it, the Black Pearl, et cetera, et cetera. I took those to Japan and gave them as gifts to anyone who did something nice to me. What was cute about it is the Japanese were like, we can't accept money. And I kept saying, collectible. This is not money. I've actually many times had to go to their supervisor and say, this is not real money. This is a collectible from Disneyland, you can't get this. And then they were able to accept it, and they were delighted because you can't get them anywhere. This is why I love the Disney dollars, because Disney dollars were pretty much US. So if you went to China, for example, and you had Disney dollars, you could feel pretty good that it didn't say made in China on the back. Because that's one of the toughest things when you go to China, you want to give them a special gift, but half the stuff says made in China, and they go kind of, So you got to look really hard to find something made in the USA because most of it's made in China. So you don't want to, you want to give them a nice pin if they want a pin, but most of the time you flip it over and it says what? Made in China. The poor Chinese are like, do you got anything? Could we have something made in the US, you think? That's what you try and do. When you go to another country, it's always good to have little gifts for people who do nice things for you. It's a nice courtesy. It's polite. So yeah, I agree with you, Deanna. Greedy butt. There you go. See, look at Woody. What Woody says. So Woody is just pointing out what he's feeling. This hurts. I'm sorry, guys. You got to think about this. You're the people who are loyal to you. You're beating them up. That's not fair. Lisha. Sorry, I should clean my glasses, Lisha. Good morning, cousin. It's true that you have to be vaccinated. Is it true that you have to be vaccinated to get into Disneyland? I was told by a few people, and you're the main person I know who would have the right answer. Guys, if you know this for sure, put it in the comments. But I say you should be. Okay, I won't answer that you have to. I'm not sure. I know that I'm pretty sure that all of the cast members that are a part of Disneyland have to be. But I don't think the guests have to be. But it's a wise thing to do. I would say absolutely you have to be. And I've said this before, if you're someone who does not want to get the vaccine, and I'm going to tell you straight up, I don't understand why you wouldn't, but that is something that, is I really don't think it's your choice either. I think you need to be getting it done, okay? I'd be lying to you if I didn't. But if you have a belief or a medical situation or whatever, you don't have to tell me why. Just if you meet me in person, you let me know you haven't been vaccinated, okay? Like before your name, okay? Hi, I'm not vaccinated and my name is TERRI HARDIN. Why do I ask you to do this? Because I'm going to put my mask on to protect you, okay? I'm fully vaccinated, okay? I got the vaccine as soon as I was able to. But what frustrates me is I can be in a small group of people and I'm sitting there for 10, 15 minutes and the person tells me afterwards that they are not vaccinated. I am putting you in jeopardy and you could be putting me in jeopardy. But forget the last part of that sentence. I could be putting you in jeopardy. So allow me the courtesy of putting my mask on so you're protected, okay? No, if you're not going to be vaccinated. I encourage you to get vaccinated because personally, it's like a salmon swimming upstream. You just are fighting a current that eventually you're going to have to give into. I really believe this. So I really hope that you will find your answer so that you can get vaccinated, so that you can be safer than most. We've already learned that if you're vaccinated, it doesn't keep you from getting this new variant. You could get it. I have several that have gotten it, and they say it's not fun, and they were vaccinated. I also know several who were not vaccinated who got it, and the jury's out. They're sick, and I reach out, but they can't always respond. I don't want this to be you. You're too special. The world will not be as bright a place if we lose you. I'd rather have you in it. So please consider it. Find someone you trust and respect that will help you to understand the importance of the vaccine. And I hope that soon you will get it done. You're going to feel a lot better. You'll be able to sleep. I know you think you're sleeping fine now, but I don't think you are. Okay? That's just my thoughts, though. That's my thoughts. All right? I'm not going to say mean things to you if you don't want to do it. But to answer your question, Lisha, I believe all employees and cast members of Disneyland and Walt Disney World as well, parks, have to be vaccinated if you're working there. But if you are a guest, I don't think they're implementing that yet. If I am wrong, oh, wise audience, let her know, okay? Let her know. Okay, here we go. Michael Roman says, it's a money grab for the Genie. I don't need it. Mom and I don't do that many rides anymore, but still love being at Disneyland. So Michael Roman has a great point. You've got several choices here, guys. Why? Because you're a human being. You don't have to get the Disney Genie Pass. You don't have to. You don't have to get it for your children. This could be a teaching point in how to enjoy Walt Disney World without filling your day with attractions. Okay. Maybe you go on some of the rides that don't have a Genie Pass and experience something that you may not have ridden in a while. Do you know that one of the most popular rides is Storybook Land? I didn't know that for years. People sitting in a large boat with a cast member who tells you about all the stories based on these little miniatures all around it on the water. You go through Monstro, that's pretty cool, but really? But I rode it and I loved it. I hadn't ridden it in a long time, and I rode it and I really, really loved it. You know, so you might ride some of the rides that you feel are lesser, and you might get a new, wow, I had forgotten this or whatever. Maybe not, but maybe so. You know, you might enjoy sitting and people watching, which is one of the best attractions at Disneyland, I've got to tell you, is watching people. Walt Disney World, when I was there and I was put up in a hotel, I used to go down and have my breakfast early and see people with their kids, all the families, happy and leaving. La, 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 we're going to the park. We're going to the park. And then I would come back around 4 or 5 in the afternoon, and they were dragging their crying children, grumbling at each other. Just get in there. The whole attitude had changed after a day in the park. And it was very interesting to see that shift. So, and that didn't cost me a red cent. So what I'm saying is, if you don't or cannot afford the Genie Plus Pass, which is what Michael is saying here, you've got the opportunity to do something different that's available for you. Yeah. And you may find you really like it, maybe even better. So it's a thought. It's a thought. It's my thought. Thank you for saying that, Michael, because that points out exactly. Good morning, Paul. I don't even get to the point of fussing about Genie Plus in my situation. I'd have to pay about $4,000 to get magic keys for me and my family, so we could occasionally go to the park for a couple of hours on a Saturday. Just let's leave this up here for a minute, everybody. This is Paul. Paul is amazing when it comes to Disneyland. In fact, rather than spending all this money, maybe you should reach out to Paul, because his knowledge of Disney history is pretty doggone. Pretty doggone good, right? And if you don't know that, right. Paul also has a great knowledge of trains. And if you love trains and the Carolwood Society, which is a lot less expensive, you might consider connecting with the Carolwood Society, which is a group of Disney enthusiasts who know about Disney trains and the history of Disney and trains. We knew Disney loved trains, right? So this is how I really got to know Paul. And he makes a very, very good point. There comes a time when you got to draw a line in the sand. And I'm sure it was a lot earlier than $4,000 for Paul. When the passes were available as annual passes, I had a friend who had to come at Christmas time, and I bought the annual pass that did not include Christmas time. And it was like meeting her in jail, because she would stay inside Disneyland. We would meet. The cast members would allow us to meet through the bars. I would stay outside of Disneyland, and we would pass our presents to each other through the bars. And later on, if she could have lunch or dinner, she would do it in the evening, and we'd meet in the evening, or we'd meet the next day or something after she had her Disneyland fix. But the point was, I wasn't going to go during the holidays. It's just too busy. Now with an appointment, maybe they're not going to allow it to get that busy, and it might be interesting. I don't know. But I do know that this is a very important point that Paul is making. when is it too much? When are they asking too much from you? You know, when do you take that suture out of your wrist and stop getting the blood sucked from you? You know, and maybe if a lot of people did it, Disney might listen. Maybe if you write to them and tell them. I think when you're posting on social media, they're listening or they're hearing you. I don't know if they're listening to you, but they're hearing you. I think. I hope. Which is why I talk with you guys here, because we want to talk about this. We want to point this out. Paying for a fast pass on top of everything else. And I know it's technically not a fast pass. It's called the, I think I wrote it down. Let's see. Lightning lane, the lightning lane. So you get in a special line called the lightning lane, and it replaces the fast pass line. So I don't know. How much do you linger and long for the lightning lane? Is it important to you? Because honestly, I don't think so. So, but neither does Paul. And Paul is saying, you know, the lightning lane is the least of his troubles compared to just getting in the park, right? Craziness, craziness. You're right, Paul. You're right. Hello, Janice. Good morning. Welcome. No, not yet, but the day is probably coming. Or require if proof of a negative test. So Janet is now answering the question about needing a vaccination to get into the park. So Janet is saying the day is coming, she thinks. And she really, look how well she spelled coming, because she wants you to know it's coming. Okay? I do that a lot. I love doing that, you know. You know. Or require proof of a negative test. Now, when I go and see my mother at the convalescent hospital, I always get a COVID test. No, it's not me. I can't go in and see my mother at the convalescent hospital till my test is negative. So I'm tested once a week because I see my mom once a week. You can only visit my mother. You can only visit people in the convalescent hospital Tuesdays, Wednesdays, or Thursdays. They ask you to pick a day and a time. So I am my mother's standing 3 o'clock. And my dad is my mother's standing 4 o'clock, 3 or 4 o'clock on Thursdays. That way my mom gets the visit from 2 people. And if we could find someone who would come on a Wednesday, my mom would have visits during those times straight through. So we're working on it. But the point is, you have to have a test every single time you walk in. So you walk in and they have a contactless thing to take your temperature. And I don't know if you guys realize it, but you don't have to put it to your forehead. My friend Mark, who's an amazing pumpkin sculptor as well, Mark Maniac, you may have looked at him on Instagram. He doesn't want it on his forehead. He does it on his wrist or his palm. They work the same. So if you don't want to like lean down and put your head in front of one of those, just put your palm of your hand up and it'll take it from here. I don't know if you guys knew that, but it'll take your temperature from here. So if you don't want him pointing that at you because you have feelings that what does that actually doing to your skull, then don't let him do that. Have him touch your wrist. You even go like this, you know. So Mark actually taught me that. So, and at the convalescent hospital, the temperature gauge is way down. So you have to like, you know, do limbo to get down there. So you just take your wrist and go, boop, done. And then I'm tested, and the test takes 3 minutes to give me the result. At the most, it's usually 2, but I'll say, on the sake of argument, 3 minutes, and it's amazing. So I don't know why it isn't everywhere. Yes, it's an added drag. It's kind of like going through security before you can get on a tram at Disneyland. So what's the big deal? Go through and get tested. I want to see my mother. My mother's important. How much is Disneyland important to you? It's important to see my mother, so I'll go get tested every week. If I ever got exposed, I'd say, I'm going to see my mom. I'll find out and they'll test me. Okay, never mind. Maybe I won't. But that's my point. My point is it's so simple and easy, this test that I get every week, that it's like, so I tell people, if I'm visiting you, you don't have to worry because I get tested every week. I think it's a shame. I don't believe Walt would do things like this Genie Pass Plus Pass. I know he would be making changes, but I don't think it would be this. I agree, Cindy. I agree. I think that what, how can I say this? I think when Walt wanted change, he didn't mean erase and start over. We always have been taught in the world of business, haven't we, that we don't start something completely new and throw away stuff that we did in our business. We start to incorporate it into what we're doing, like adding ingredients to a fine soup, right, Cindy? So some of the things that they do are so hack and slash, we feel cut and damaged. And I agree with you. Like slashing out the Captain EO here at Disneyland when so many people would love to see it again. Or slashing at cutting out Muppet 3D Theater here. People really miss that here. I'm happy to go see it at Walt Disney World though, because it's still there. I really love going back and seeing my work on that. And then not having Mr. Toads at Walt Disney World because they that too. And I just don't know that that is a good idea. I don't think so. I know it would be a bad idea in my thing because I just would be so sad if I didn't get to ride my Toad. So, you know, I agree with you. I don't think this is what I do not think that means what you think it means, to quote Inigo Montoya. I just don't. I think that people are saying it and using it as a Band-Aid because of what they want. It fits their agenda, not Walt's agenda, you know? And so I have to agree with you on that, Sandy. And that has been my stomach, my tummy has felt that way for a long time. I'm not going to use the Genie Pass. Oh, that's cute, Janet. I get there early enough. Most of the time I don't need it. Yeah. And listen to what Janet says here. So, hey, how about getting up early and getting to be first in line? I mean, of the ride that means the most of you. Okay. So thank you for allowing me to have my breakfast. I'm sure on the app and the website, because Disneyland is pretty thorough about this, the Genie Plus Pass will tell you what rides it works on. Then look at those rides and see which is the most important and make sure you get there first, right, Janet? A doggone good idea. A doggone good idea. I can't think of a time when I've been able, rewind. I was going to say I can't think of a time when I've come late to the park, but that's not true. When I am going up to Club 33 and I'm not a member, but I'm often invited to tell stories and to, let people meet an Imagineer, I'm more than happy to do that. And then they treat me at Club 33, which is so sweet of them. I love this club. And I'm sure many of you, it's on your bucket list. I come later to that. I'll usually hit the park 9, 10 o'clock to be at a noon luncheon or something. But most of the time, the people that want to see me are going, can you meet us at 8? We're going to be in line. Yay! Can you be there? And there I am. Chalk Walk, I'm up at 4 a.m. with that group. That is really special. You're like, whoa, ay. It is just, it's really wild. It's really, really wild. Yeah. Those early mornings for Chalk. This year we got to do it virtually and I loved it. I love walking through the park. I'm with the Chalk Walk people, walking through Disneyland and downtown Disney and California Adventure for the Chalk Walk for such a great organization. Children's Hospital of Orange County is a blast, and the team I'm with, the OUAC Walkers, is amazing group of people. But virtually was great because I got up and I did it at 8 o'clock in the morning. I think I did my walk and I filmed myself on my treadmill and I did it on the treadmill. I'm one of those weird people that can go farther on a treadmill than I ever do in life. I mean, I could probably run 2 marathons back to back on the treadmill because I'm watching a movie or something and walking and I just lose. that 5K went like that. Most people are bored on a treadmill. They like trees and stuff, but since it's in the same place, I don't really know. I don't feel the distance. Isn't that weird and funny? Because it's just going round and round I mean, it's funny. On a treadmill, I'm watching like, a favorite movie or listening to music. And I'm just walking and walking. And since it's my beautiful books on one side and maybe a pretty picture up there, or maybe a movie or in the background or whatever, Downton Abbey or Ted Lasso or something, I get all involved in that and forget. And before I know it, it's over. And I'm like, wow, that didn't feel like that. So for me, the treadmill was awesome. Doing it virtually was fantastic because I did not feel the burn at all because of it just label me as weird. I mean, most people are like, are you nuts? They talk about the Peloton, and you're looking like you're driving through the forest and stuff. Nah. Nope, just a movie. A movie, me, and the treadmill, and I'm good. Yeah, it's funny. I'm weird. What can I say? We've picked up a weirdo. But she's right. Get in, and then you don't need them. They did decide to open a few ticket booths to sell the passes. Of course, the line was long. Well, and there you go. You know how people complain about the pass, but they're still in the line buying it. So what signal is that giving Disney? I used to tell people, if you don't like the merchandise that's being offered, don't buy it. If you think the merchandise being offered is junk, please don't spend the money to buy the junk. Because Disneyland will then come back and say, what are you talking about? It's sold like a charm. And they'll be right. Because you bought it anyway. Why did you do that? Why? Why did you do that? Don't do that. Don't buy junk. And let them know that's junk. I don't want to buy it. Yeah. And they'll raise the bar. Hopefully they'll raise the bar. But they aren't going to if you keep buying junk. Right, Cindy? So they're not going to stop these Genie Plus passes if you're one of those people standing in line to buy one. Now, buy it if you think it's a cool, if you think it's a cool thing and it gives you an opportunity where others are not and you love walking through that line like VIP, then by all means, don't come on and say you don't like it. Just say, hey, I think it's all right. You could even say people that don't buy it, don't buy it. You have that right to say that if that's the way you feel. And I hope everyone in line, that's the way you feel because you're coughing up the money for it. Yeah? And just think of what that $20 could get you. If you're going 3 days in the park and you got to spend $20 each day, that's $60. Just think of what that $60 can do. For me, it would be a killer cocktail at the California Adventure bar area where I sit with my friends and we chat and I have a nice, tasty beverage and listen to music and what they have to say. See, to me, that's my favorite thing, is to hear what's up with you guys. As we talk about the various things, what you rode, what you bought, what you like, why are you here? Or in that fireplace. I remember most of the time, me and my dear friend who I met at a pumpkin sculpting class, her name is Rachel, and her family, we would sit in front of the fireplace and fall asleep in the rocking chairs that cost this much at the Grand Californian. You get a nice little cocktail, something you like, something that's not me. Maybe a mojito, maybe a mimosa, margarita. Why am I mentioning everything with M's in it? But the point is they're not going to run you, $60. You can get back with a little nosh and a lot of friends. And these are going to be memories that are yours and yours alone. So just think about your budget. If you got money to burn, or if this is one of your bucket list things is you want to get this lightning line, then that's your business and you have the right. And if you think it's a good thing, please tell me in the comments. I agree 100%. People quote him saying Disneyland will never be finished. I believe he would say to add, not to change my beloved dream. Exactly. That's well said, Bob. That's exactly what I'm thinking about. Well, hello, Kathy. It's BS for the locals. Should have at least been added it to the magic key. I think this is a great idea. Did you tell him this? because I think this is something you send to them. You write in, you say, you know, this should be a part of the Magic Key. This should be if you get the Magic Key passes, and maybe it's not for every Magic Key pass. Maybe it's for the top 2 tiers or something, because that might make it of more value. In my case, the Dream Key Pass, which I believe is the top of the line, is a bargain for me. You heard it right. Not only does it pay for my parking, but it also pays for my attendance. And in 2019, before the pandemic closed Disneyland down, I was there 45 times. That's right, folks, 45 times. And in that time, I think I rode maybe enough rides to count on my 2 hands. So less than 10 attractions I rode. Because my goal was to come see you. But if you add that up, that top Dream Key Pass is a bargain. So if you're going there like I'm going there, and I go there a lot because you guys go, now I've got to see with the appointments if it's still that kind of a bargain. But many people are noticing now that they have their pass, they can pop it at night for a few hours, have a coffee, feel the sun go down, watch people, meet friends, chill, baby, chill. And that's what the passes really are wonderful for. Bop over if you've got cast members you want to see over at the California Adventure Park. You know, see if there's go online. I wasn't going to go to the California Adventure Park, but here it is, 5:00. Let me see if there's a space. Let me go right now. And then you sign in, you walk right over. I mean, you've got those opportunities now that you got your pass. It's going to give you that flexibility. I happen to be in Anaheim. I got a couple hours to kill. Let me see if there's a room for me to pop into Disneyland or California Adventure, maybe grab some lunch. I know that many people who are paying, you would never pop into Disneyland to grab lunch or dinner or see a friend. But now that you have that pass, this is my whole life, guys. And you know that with Disneyland, they don't have a 2-hour price. So every time I went and I would have to pay full price. And when you do the math, that pass is a bargain for me. Now, right now, I haven't gone. I haven't gone to Disneyland. In fact, I was supposed to go on Monday with a cast member, and I told her I wasn't available because I'm really working hard on this chess set, and I want to get this chess set done. I'm very distracted right now. It'd be great to pop over to Disneyland and see people, and I may do it when I may see about popping into the park or popping over to California Adventure during the time of the Disneyana Fan Club, because Disneyana Fan Club has been canceled. I probably shouldn't have said this an hour and so into this, but the Disneyana Fan Club show and sale that I was going to be at on the 12th of September has been postponed till next year. As has Toonfest Gang, was going to be in September, also postponed because of the pandemic, meaning not happening. So I have a hotel room booked in Anaheim. So maybe what I'll do, because I'm still going to the Chuck Jones Center of Creativity Red Dot Gala auction and gala, providing that they have it. Right now it's still on, but I'm not sure. I did a painting for the charity so that the charity could earn money, because I really believe in this. I love charities, first of all, but this one is a really good one. It teaches you and your kids how to do all kinds of wonderful things. You might look at it, Chuck Jones Center for Creativity. This is called the Red Dot Society auction, and it's going on now. You can Google that and go in and look at the paintings. You can pay for them full price by putting a red dot on them, $750 to the organization if you like the painting. I have a painting in there. It's called What's Up, Doc? And that's all I'm going to tell you. I shouldn't even tell you that. But at this point, I don't know if the auction's going to happen or not live. And but if you want to go, there's beautiful paintings, all kinds of gorgeous paintings. Some are cells. Some are actually pulled from the cartoons, Bugs Bunny and all of that. They're a lot more of a donation. But if you're something you're looking for, this is the time to go look. And again, it's Red Dot. It's the Red Dot auction. So Red Dot Society Auction, I think is what it is, or Red Dot Auction. But Chuck Jones Red Dot Auction, you'll get there. Okay. And then go in and register and you can bid on paintings and stuff. Yep. It's really cool. Yeah, pretty cool. So and each artist puts a painting on, and then they don't say whose is what, so that you can bid on them, not because of the artist, but because of the painting. And look around, and you may like my painting and you may do it. I did it with a palette knife, so it's chunky and yummy and thick, but it's really hard to see on video. So, they did a photograph of it, but I don't think it really shows it to its best. But then it is my first painting, so it's not, it's not a Rembrandt, guys, and it's not a Van Gogh. So it's like Terry's second painting, my third. My second painting is here that I've been working on. This one right here. You can see the subject matter, and then here the camera's kind of in front of it. If I tilt the camera towards me, you can see right there a little better. There is the actual painting that I'm doing. But it's sitting there for a long time. I haven't touched it. And the reason I haven't touched it is because I'm working on the chess set. I want to get this chess set done more than anything. So I am head down and doing it. Plus my book. Yo, why didn't I tell you about my book while I'm here? I want to tell you about my book. I have a brand new book out. No, I did not write it, but my best friend Lynette wrote it, and I illustrated it and she colored it, and it's beautiful. So right now you can go to my website, TerriHarDin.com, and look at new book at the top of the page and click on that and get it for $18. It's regularly $22.95. It's hardbound, made in the USA, stitched, children's book. Gorgeous. My first illustrations I have done in a hardbound book, and then she colored them, and I think they are just beautiful. Many of you know that I am a judge on the Outrageous Pumpkins competition for the Food Network. So you've got that. You're going to have it autographed by me. You're going to have it autographed by her. And if you go to pre-sale, you're going to save a whole lot of cabbage. So you might want to do that. We are definitely holding the pre-sale till September 10th, but I'm going to talk to the author because maybe we're going to extend that just a little bit since my 2 appearances has been canceled. We may allow you the pre-sale to go longer, but don't wait. $18, go there. You can click on it. Now, if you buy, if you want a bulk sale, you buy 10 or more, hit me up in Messenger or email me at Terri@TerriHarDin.com, and you can talk with me about the amount that you want for what, and I'll give you a special deal. Okay. So if you want more, it makes a great Halloween gift, makes a great Christmas gift, makes a great gift. It's my first. It's going to be autographed by both of us because the pre-sale is going to end in September. I will tell you that right now. I just may ask the author to extend the date a little bit. And then when I have a book tour where I will be in Indiana and hopefully Ohio signing the book. So there are some events, and I will give you some specifics as we get closer, but I will be there and I will be with the author, Lynette, signing the book. So you will get both signatures in there together. And yay for you, right? We cannot guarantee later on if we can put both signatures in there. We might do a book plate. You might want to tell me how you feel about a book plate. But one of us will have to do a book plate, signed book plates, and then we would adhere that signature in when because we live on each coast. She's east, I'm west, obviously. So this is some of the things we're thinking about. But we're together for 2 weeks on a book tour, Indiana, Ohio, and some other places. So we want you to think about it, okay? And then when we appear live, you can visit us, and it's a little more expensive. The pre-sale is the best price at $18. If you visit us, it's going to be $20. Okay, so just so you know. Okay, so that was really fast, but I'm going to put the book tour schedule, and I probably should have said it at the top of the hour, but I was more interested in talking to you about this pass. So So the book is available, pre-sale. Go to TerriHarden.com and you can learn about it. It's hardbound, made in the USA, stitched. It's gorgeous. Children's book about pumpkins. And I'm a #1 pumpkin sculptor. I'm a judge on Outrageous Pumpkins on the Food Network. Lynette has done effects for things, all kinds of amazing things. She ran a corn maze in Indiana for over 10 years. I think she told me it was like 13 or something. In any case, you get some great information on her here. I mean, there's so many things I could tell you about her. Aren't these drawings cute? I could tell you so many wonderful things about her, but she's done all kinds of movies too. And she was involved in the Teddy Ruxpin project. You remember that bear with the cassette tape? If you don't know what a cassette is, Google it. That snapped into his belly and he told stories to children. So she was on that project, and that's where I met her, was on the Teddy Ruxpin project when we were building for Worlds of Wonder. So you just don't know who you're going to meet on the tour. So I encourage you to go there, buy a book at that special price. It will be autographed by both of us for the pre-sale books. And if not, full price, $22.95 later. Or see me in Indiana and Ohio and get it for $20. Okay? Okay. Aye. It's a lot, right? It's a lot. Yes. There was a question on Facebook, which CEO after Walt had the greatest impact on the parks? Who do I think? Michael, save that for Friday. I'll let you know Friday. I'm going to think about that and then pop that question on Ask Me Anything Friday. The legacy of old timers like Grace, I can't even say the name, needs to live on. Exactly, Jay. That's right. Serreras? Is that how you say that? Serreras? I could roll the R's. I think the legacy of everyone, and that name is not familiar, but the face might be, Jay. So forgive me on that. This is why I talk to you. Grace designed the castle bag with fun. You're right. Okay, thank you, Jay. Thank you for enlightening me. I did like that bag. Yeah, this is great. Yeah, do you have that still? Somebody collects that kind of stuff. Yes. Bob says, speaking of the Haunted Mansion, do you know if the gargoyles at the start of the stairway in the Doom buggy are animatronics? They were, but I don't know if they still are. I can't remember. I know that at Walt Disney World, they are starting to make things animatronic. And also at Walt Disney World, the ghosts, the hitchhiking ghosts, don't just stand there and hitchhike. They like bounce around and are silly and stuff. And I think the first exposure to that is going to be all you Walt Disney Worlders. I drank all my tea. Okay. Well, I could make more, but we're almost done. And what am I drinking that for? When in doubt, drink water. Yeah. But this is the thing. They are doing more and more and more to animate stuff in there. And it's wonderful, isn't it, Bob? I love that. I think that's what Walt meant, is to get that Hatbox Ghost and the behind the scenes of that one, behind the attractions, is wonderful, because that has got to be the guy who designed that Hatbox Ghost for today has got to be one of the cutest people I've ever seen in my life. He reminds me of you, Paul, actually. Just cute as a bug, and he smiles and the room lights up. I just said, man, I should sculpt this guy because he's just adorable. Cindy says, no trams thing is ridiculous, especially for someone older having difficulty walking, like Willie. Yeah, Willie Ito she's talking about. We had to park on the other parking lot so you can take this bus, but let us out front when we went for Willie's birthday. Exactly. You have to make a plan. And one of the things that this Dream Key Pass does is allow you to park in Toy Story, and Toy Story brings you a bus to the park, so at least you still, you have some options. But before that, we were parking in hotel parking lots that would charge us $10 or $15 to park. And so that we could cross the street, because I would have people that want to meet me at 7 and the Mickey and Friends doesn't open till much later. So I couldn't connect with my peeps. So, yeah, you got to kind of make a plan, don't you? The things are different. And Cindy's right. That is a real beast. That is a real beast, not having the trams running. And the trams are outdoory. But I kind of have an idea. I think, did you hear that hotels and some hotels are having trouble getting the staff because people aren't coming back to work? So the trams need to be maintained. So maybe they're having trouble finding people to maintain them because you want to talk about an essential worker. That would be something that keeps vehicles running, right? And what if they found better opportunity? Just saying. They did. Not everybody is willing to work for free at Disneyland. Only a few of you, right? LOA, I'll let you comment on the 60th. The 60th Mickey ears were ridiculous looking to me. But did I still buy them? Yes. Okay. Bonnie, I am proud of you for admitting that you did. I'm just going to straight up say good for you for saying that you still bought them, because the 60th was more important than the fact that the ears look stupid. And that's the choice. I'm sorry that's the choice you had to make, actually, Bonnie. It would have been nice if you went, whoa, that's amazing. Like the Millennium. Have you seen the Millennium Falcon? Somebody was so sweet and sent me the Millennium Falcon popcorn bucket. Have you seen this thing? Guys, Friday, if you're going to be on the Ask Me Anything, remind me and I will show you the Millennium Falcon popcorn bucket, which the words popcorn bucket are like military, what did they say? Military intelligence. But you can put, I don't know if that's true, so I shouldn't use that as an example. But the Millennium Falcon popcorn bucket fits like 3 kernels in it. So the word popcorn bucket should be in quotes, because it's not really a popcorn bucket. It's a flat Millennium Falcon that's about this big that has things that move on it. So you're buying the Millennium Falcon, but you're buying it at the popcorn stand. So they're calling it a pop. You will not be able to fit any popcorn in there. And if you do, you're not getting it out. Okay. So it's the most ridiculous. It's ridiculous. On the other hand, I saw a Stitch popcorn bucket from Japan that I would have loved to have had. A girl made it into a purse, and it was the cutest little purse I have ever seen. I thought, now that I would buy and make into a purse like she did, because I really thought it was cute. But, you know, if you're going to make a popcorn bucket, make a popcorn bucket, or else don't call it a popcorn bucket. The Star Wars popcorn buckets are absolutely ridiculous. They may be cool as sculptures, but as a popcorn bucket, you know, has a leg of lamb, you know, they're just ridiculous. So Bonnie, I'm with you on this. I'm with you 100%. Disneyland 65th was completely sad because most of the year the park was closed due to the pandemic. I feel like we were forgotten. Well, or you've been postponed, Michelle. They may say, this is the 66th, but since we didn't get to do do you know what I mean? They could have done something like that, you know, like we didn't get to celebrate. So as soon as things get back to order, we'll celebrate like we did, you know, celebrate like it's 1999, you know, that sort of thing. Maybe they'll do that for you, because it was kind of a drag. One of the things that Disney did do was not necessarily make an abundance of anniversary products because they weren't sure if they would sell. And so they limited that, as I understand. There were some, but not a lot. Now, if you're a member of Club 33, as I understand it, you got some really cool bling while you were waiting for the club to open up again. And some have posted, but some have just shown it to me. And really nice. Club 33 really does good merchandise. I love their stuff. So if you ever get to go to Club 33, save up enough money so that if you do get in there, you don't leave without something that has that logo on it, okay? Do yourself a favor, because you never know when you're going to get back in there, right? So get that Club 33 thing. And if you love Club 33, you never know. Sometimes people will sell something that appeals to you that has Club 33 on it. And if they do, then grab it, you know, or yeah, you know, scoop it up, grab it. on the Patreon page, I do these giveaways. I've only given away a couple of Club 33 things because I'm attached to mine. But if I ever do, it'll probably go to my patrons, or I'll offer it in a special sale to patrons where I give it for a few bucks, so I can get get a little bit for it for me. Yeah. So anyway, it works out. So I'm with you. I'm with you that you feel forgotten. It was one of those things, wasn't it? A lot of that happening. Cindy says the Disney dollars were fantastic. I rest my case. What a great collector's item. Don't know why on earth they stopped making them. Like Bob said, it's free money for them. So many people kept theirs and didn't use them. That's like what I said. And this is the truth because I still have them. I still have a small stack somewhere of the Pirates of the Caribbean ones, which were $20 a piece. So I had purchased probably about $200 in Disney $20 a piece because when I went to Japan and when I go overseas, I use those as a gift. Why? They're light, easy to carry, don't bulk up my suitcase, and people love them. Okay? Especially now that there are no Disney dollars, they love them even more. But it's a heartbreaker, guys. It's a heartbreaker. I think somebody in the Disney group said, well, we have gift cards now, but the gift cards don't work the same. The gift cards are a card. It's the same. You load it and you unload it. You load it and you unload it. The ones from Rise of the Resistance are pretty cool. But other than that, but still, they're still going to spend the money. They're going to keep the gift card from Rise, but they'll spend the $100. I did. Okay, so I spent some money when I took a cast member to build a lightsaber. And I bought it I went and got the gift cards, and then I used the gift cards to buy the experience. And then I gave them the gift card. Okay. Now they have the gift card. They can load it up whenever they want. But you see what I mean? You're spending that money. Whereas if it's a Disney dollar that was done by a collectible artist, myself, I'd like to have Terry dollars. Yeah. Where I do wonderful drawings that you must have, and you don't spend that money. See, Cindy and I who out there wouldn't want that? So why would you get rid of such an income stream? It makes no sense to me. And Disney did what Disney does, which is to make sure it's legal tender. It was actually minted money. I don't know if you knew that. Actually had serial numbers on it. Yeah, check it. They should bring them back. That's the one thing, Genie Plus Pass, meh. But if you bring back Disney dollars, yeah, baby, and ask artists like me to illustrate them, oh, baby, I tell you, that would be cool. There are so many Disney artists that are loved by all of you. Alex Mayer comes to mind. And, there's so many. There's Mike Peraza. There are so many people out there, Andreas Deja, people that do such great art that could illustrate the Disney dollar you would go gaga for and buy it and never you'd frame it and put it up here. It would never get spent ever, 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 ever. As Cindy is saying, ever, ever. So flash to Disney, alert to Disney, get on it, get those dollars back. Get on it, baby. Get on it. Get on it. Okay. Wow. You guys are full of wonderful comments today. You're on fire. With my knee, I can't park in the lot. No tram. I can't walk that far. Walk the parks all day if I walk that far. To go to the parks, so I take Lyft from where I stay, unless I'm staying on property. This is what a lot of people do, Janet. And this is a great thing to do, is to grab a Lyft or an Uber or whatever and get yourself right to the door. Yeah. 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 What I did is that on in May, I think it was May 26th, before it opened on the 30th of this year, I went with a cast member. And what I did is I booked a hotel. The hotel was very inexpensive. Across the street, across harbor. It was the Best Western. Didn't cost me much. I think it was $100 or something. Great room, wonderful room. And they were sweet enough to let me keep my car there for the whole day. While I went over, I said, I'm walking around with fans at the park. And they were so no problem. And I went over there and did that. They didn't charge me the extra $15 because I was staying there. And that way I could come in the night before, relax and rest, and be up at 7 when they needed to see me. 7:30. I just got up and met them at the stoplight, which was like 10 feet away if I walk slow. Met them right at that light that crosses right over into where you line up. It was no problem. It was a no-brainer. And for me, I had not been I wasn't in a hotel room at all. For the pandemic, I was home with a little home, with a side dish of home and a drink of home. I was home like everybody else. So I had a little money I could invest in a small hotel room, and it worked out great. I didn't have to race and fight traffic and try to be there and park and nah. I was there the night before, had a nice quiet dinner I ordered in. Watched reruns of 2.5 Men, which I love if it's Charlie Sheen. So, and then I cut spacers for my hitchhiking ghost. So I'm always working, but I thought, which is why I got the hotel room for the Disneyana fan club event, which is no longer happening now. But now I've got the gala. So I'm trying to find out if the gala is going to stay the way it is, because then I'll keep the hotel room, just shorten the dates, but keep the room. Yeah. But I'm waiting to find out, because I may just cancel it if I don't have to go down for the gala, you see. So this is why I'm saying just stay tuned. I might be at Disneyland. I just don't know. I'm trying to figure out what's happening with the Chuck Jones gala event. I don't know. They may have to go virtual. I don't know how they're feeling about it. So we'll have to wait and see. Shag, Kevin and Jody, Boyer, lots of them. See? Kevin and Jody still make wonderful items, but those items today are not sold in Yes, probably not in the parks, I think is what you mean. Leo, not sure. But yeah, all these people could do it. I don't know how. I guess Shag would be eager to do it if he was asked, because Shag done a lot, but when I met him during a special event, he said it's not all roses. I appreciated him saying that, because you can imagine what your dream job is, and then there's the reality of the dream job. But honestly, not all dream jobs are all roses. They're not perfect. Just like we aren't perfect, they're not perfect, but they are a ton of fun. And I think Shag is a perfect guy for that. Absolutely. Tons of them, though. You're right, Leo. Tons of people available. And Bob agrees with you, Michelle. Pretty bad. Leo says, not sold in U.S. parks. Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, if you know Kevin and Jody, and they were going to be at the Disneyana event on the 11th and 12th, and now they're not, they'll probably be next year. You can sit with them and find out how to get their stuff. I'm sure you can get it online or something. Kevin and Jody are so great. I worked with them while they were still a part of Disney. A big part of Disney land and Imagineering and Disney products and Disney. They were very much, we were hip deep in Disney. Say that fast. And there we were together, hip deep in Disney, working. And I did a Harmony Kingdom box. Let me see if I can find it for you. I did a Harmony Kingdom box. Yes, I did. Let me see if I can find that sucker. Don't know if it's here, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try and find it for you. Okay, let me see if I can find my little Magic Kingdom box here. I got all kinds of stuff, but I don't know if I've got that little mouse. I'm looking. No, it's not there. I'm going to have to go back. I thought it might be there. Let me see if I have it in... let's see. Let's look at the Disney Museum. Maybe it's in there. I have all these presentations with all this crazy stuff that I do, and sometimes it fits. Sometimes it sneaks its little self in there, and sometimes I miss it entirely. It's amazing. I used to do a lot of stuff for Disney products and Disney sculpts. Let's see if it's there. That little box is eluding me, which surprises me. I will have to find it. This just reminds me that I need to get off my duff and get some of these things done so that you guys can see them because I don't see them here. It's a shame. Let me look at favorite. Let me go to my albums again. See if maybe it's in favorites. I doubt it is, though. I'll just put it in the library and scroll through and see if I can find it. And while I'm trying to scroll through, but I did a Harmony Kingdom box, and that's where I met Kevin and Jody, and that's where we became fast friends, and I did a lovely project with and for them. And then it was sold on, I believe at the time it was called DisneyStore.com. You guys know the history of the Disney Onlines as well, better than me. Used to have a catalog that came out, and I think that was DisneyStore.com. Here it is. I found you little thing. Oops. There it is. So here's the Harmony Kingdom box that I did while I was with Kevin and Jody. So this is Mickey drawing, and then it has all these little mice. And what happened was Kevin and Jody commissioned another sculptor, and that sculptor sat on it for 3 weeks and then handed it back to them unfinished, not even started. They didn't even start it. But I was more than happy to do it with them, and they were hoping I could do it faster. I promised them 2 weeks, 14 business days, but told them if I got it done faster, if we managed to work well together, because it was the first time working with a new client. And here's a tip for you guys. When it's a new client, give them the outside number, okay? So they can kind of decide if they want you to work with them. Kevin and Jody decided, and I explained why. I said, I don't know if you're going to like what I pull out of the gate. I don't know how many changes you're going to make, how many alterations you're going to do. So let's say 14 business days, and if it's faster, then I'll bring it in faster, and I actually did, because working with Kevin and Jody was great. And here is my wax. I did it in wax, and there are all the characters around it. You can still find this little Harmony Kingdom box, but I'm not sure where, but you can see the lid pops off, and inside is a little mouse. So that's the box part of it. But that's the piece I did with Kevin and Jody. So yes, Kevin and Jody, big deal. So thank you for saying that, Leo. I believe I read on the site that they highly recommend the vaccine, but it's not required. Yes, Bonnie, that is correct. That is correct. And so far, and they want to know proof of COVID is what's been saying, but it's coming. Yeah. Myrna, how are you? You have you have to be vaccinated to go on a Disney cruise. And you know why, right, Myrna? Can you imagine? I used to tell people before vaccine and before the pandemic, you were just going on a Disney cruise, yeah? And I went on the inaugural Panama Canal cruise coming from Florida to Long Beach in the Pacific. 20 days we were at sea. I was a guest artist. And they were going to give inaugural. See, the word inaugural makes you guys get all your Jekyll and Hyde. Your Jekyll comes out when it's inaugural. So I warned them on the ship, they were going to spoon feed these inaugural pins out one at a time. And I said, have you ever worked with collectors during the word inaugural? And the woman was really upset with me. She's like, why are you talking to me this way? And I said, well, look, it might be a good idea. This is before we even got on the cruise. I wrote to them and I said, maybe you want to just ask people how many would like the set of the inaugural pin set. And then you just put it in their stateroom, because that way they'll enjoy the events and things you have. Like when you go to Castaway Cay, they'll go and be on Castaway Cay, not stand in line hoping to get a pin on the boat. On your ship, they won't leave. And she was like, look, we've done enough pin events. I said, yes, but have you done inaugural? Big difference. Pin event, inaugural pin event. This is 2005. And she just said, I think I know how to handle it. She was in charge of all of this on the Disney Cruise Line. And I was on the Magic. And I said to her, I said, look, lady, I don't mean to be rude. I'm a collectible artist. I know these collectors. You're going to have lines. If you don't want lines, and what's worse, you don't want people angry, screaming at you because they did not get a pin, let's think of some way to do it differently. Let's work together. Please, I'm just asking that, may I help you? She said no, talk to the hand, get lost. What do you know? You're not a cruise person. You're just a silly artist. Her words, not mine. And she just shut me down. Okay, so the first pin came out. Now, let me tell you something out about this story. Let me tell you the amazing inaugural pin story of the first Panama Canal cruise on the Magic, going through the canal and coming out the other end and docking for the first time on the West Coast, and then offering short Mexican Riviera trips on the West Coast for the first time. This is what inaugural means, okay? Okay, I'm going to try and tell this story in the short version, but if you want the long version, do it on Ask Me Anything Friday. I'll be happy to tell you about it. But let me just say that I took a camera with me and filmed the carnage. Keyword carnage. This, the guest service people wanted to go anywhere but be on that ship. So what I'm saying is, when you're on a cruise ship, there's only so far you can go. You cannot go away. It's a tight, enclosed area. It's what it's about. That is why people like cruises, because the people are intimate. But you can imagine what Myrna's saying. They sure as heck better be vaccinated, because once one person gets it, it's going to be like kindergartners, isn't it? Everybody's going to get it. And then they'll take it to their families. So they don't want to be this typhoid Mary ship. They have to ask for this. They aren't trying to. I've heard people say, you're violating my medical privacy rights. No, guys, they got to protect people. This is a cruise ship. This is so different from every other kind of thing. The cruise industry has seriously suffered because people know it's a cruise ship. And if one person gets sick, everybody could get sick. It's just the way it is. And so they've got to do this. There is no exit plan for them. If they want to be in business, they're going to have to require a vaccine, or people won't go. Anyone who's been on a cruise ship knows how tight people are together. It's almost impossible to social distance. That would be a joke. And a cruise ship really needs to be sure that they can get you, that they got enough people there buying the staterooms so that it pays for the fuel and the people and everything. So to only have a few people on and go out sailing, my goodness, the tickets would be ridiculous. Expense-wise, be fun because there wouldn't be a lot of people. But still, it would be a high price tag. So that's what they're trying to juggle. And they just don't want you to get sick, because one person getting sick and everybody getting sick for the company. Seriously, they know that. And so that's why what Myrna is saying here is word. They are going to have to require it if they want to keep you safe. And they want to keep you safe. Medical history, schmistery, guys, we're keeping you safe. Why? Because you don't want us to go down. We'll go down like we'll sink. Like a lead balloon, we'll sink. If people get sick, like you saw when people were on cruise ships, they weren't allowed to dock because they were considered poison. So she's right. She's right. This is going to happen. But if you're someone who doesn't want to take the vaccine, or you feel there's a reason you shouldn't have to take it, don't cruise. That's the answer. Just don't. Think of some other way to travel. Yep. I think the company's been playing it safe on anniversary merchandise since they got stuck with a bunch of excess merchandise when they tried to sell it at Walt Disney World and Disneyland the year after the anniversary. Yeah, well, that's kind of silly, isn't it? Well, wait, let me... I shouldn't say that, because did that not sound like a judgmental statement? You can tell me that it was, because it did sound like that to me. But I started to say, yeah, who would do that? But I'll tell you who would do that. Me, okay? So he's saying anniversary of Disneyland years of the anniversary. This is Paul again. Anniversary book looks cool. I'd love to see a Walt Disney World music collection. Great idea, Paul. Sorry, I'm being so wordy. Paul, are you you're on my channel, right? You're wordy. I think your comment helps here. I think this is an important thing. I think a music collection would be excellent. Do you have the Snow White Laserdisc, Paul? Because you know that the reason I still have the laser disc is because it's the music without the voice track. It's only just the music. Did you know that? That special golden collectioner wasn't Laserdisc. Do you even know what a Laserdisc is, you guys? Google it. Uh, but we kept it because early in Laserdisc history, Disney released on the Laserdisc the music without the words, like not people talking, just the music soundtrack. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. They stopped that very quickly, but they did do it. Anyway, back to the 60th anniversary release stuff. I'm going to show you here. This is my anniversary castle. This is how it looks here. This is the Disney 60th anniversary castle plaque. It is still available. And when was the 60th? Let me check. A long time ago. But people still miss having something special for the 60th anniversary. And this is a very special piece. And you heard me talk about Mice Chat at the top of the hour. Mice Chat and Dusty himself was the one that helped me do this piece. And as I show it to you here, it's the castle in all its glory for the 60th. And it says a little 60 right there. See that little 60? It's a little dark, but there it is. Okay. This is what I call an heirloom piece. This one is made out of resin. And to celebrate the 60th diamond anniversary, it's got an attraction that was released in each of the 6 decades. I had to get that out of my mouth. So you've got 6 decades worth of attractions that had their opening. So you have the train, you have Small World, you have Big Thunder, you have Buzz Lightyear, you have Indiana Jones, you have Splash Mountain. Now this is going to be collectible because they're thinking of getting rid of Splash Mountain, right? But anyway, this is sculpted. It's 9 inches tall. It's hand done by me, numbered, and I still have them available. Why? Because people come by and they didn't know about it. And they want an heirloom piece to celebrate Disney's anniversary, and Disney didn't provide it, so I did. This is $300, and you can buy it at my store. Go to TerriHarden.com and click on online store, and you can take a look at it if you want it. Otherwise, hit me up and we'll talk about it. They're numbered. You may have a particular number you want. I don't know if I'll have it because I have a sprinkling of them. I think I have 10 or so left. But if it's something you want for your heirloom to celebrate the 60th, there it is. So I guess what I'm saying, Paul, is some of Disney merchandise that's offered later is worth it. And I did this all by hand. This is bas relief. It's all hand sculpted. It took me forever. Why I did it, I don't know. I'm insane. It's about 1/4 of an inch deep, and all of this is carved. You can see how that's all beautifully carved. Oh, maybe I should show you. So here it is. Here's the wax that I did, and then here it is all carved, bas relief carved, all hand carved by me. And then it has this wipe and brush stroke, and then hand painted clouds up here. People got to choose the clouds and everything. It's really, really beautiful. It's really beautiful. It's an heirloom. It's 9 inches tall because people said they wanted, people suggested, you guys, like you, people like you, if you have it, then you, suggested that it be able to be put on a shelf that was 12 inches tall. So you can either hang it like a plaque, or you can make something that can sit it up in your case. You can have, like, many people use those things that hold plates. I've seen people set it in there. It can sometimes work because that point on the bottom sometimes doesn't work. But the point is, but that is an example of what I created because I felt like the 60th anniversary stuff was junk. So I told people you'll have to invest a couple of $100. It's $300, but it's something you can give down to your kids. It's numbered. They're all numbered and signed. The limited edition is 200, and they're all signed and numbered on the side and everything. Come in a beautiful box. Yeah, I'm all about the experience. I create experiences, not sell stuff. So yeah. Whoa. So some people still sell 60th stuff well into the later anniversaries. So I can't judge them on that because it might have worked. Somebody might have said, "Ooh, I was looking for that," you know. Leo says we're getting the vaccine booster once we can after September 20th, and we will too. We will definitely talk to our doctor and see if we can get it as well because, yeah, why not? You know, I will especially do it because I'm doing my book tour in October, so I want to be as protected as possible. But I will also be wearing a mask. I have an amazing lady. Her name is Cindy Marble, and she makes the most delightful masks, and they fit. You know how sometimes you're trying to talk and it comes down here, or you put it here and it goes up? Those drive me crazy. This mask is adorable. It has a little accordion in the front. And she did one of me. She did one for me of pirates because it goes with my skull coat. I don't know if you've ever seen my skull coat, but she did that one for me. And then she did a nightmare one with nice little Nightmare Before Christmas Jack Skellingtons all over it. But she has precious ones, and she did one for my cousin because my cousin is 6'6", and he has a round head. And for you men or women who are bigger, and the masks just aren't fitting you, and it's a real drag, she custom makes them for you, so she can make a large one, and you can do it. She's so talented. And I'm always following her like a puppy going, "Cindy, will you do this? Cindy, will you do that?" And she's so sweet to me. She doesn't go, "Get away from me, kid, you bother me." Nah, Cindy doesn't do that. She's really very talented. She does them mostly for the Chalk Walk, our Chalk Walk team. And we had a really cute one for Chalk Walk, which was Mickey in a Chalk Walk mask. Oh, it's so cute. Anyway, the girls they're just brilliant over there. But it fits, and it has like a little, it's folds. So when you talk, it flexes with you, so it always stays on your nose, and you know, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. I'm telling you. It's brilliant. She also made a plain black one for my husband because my husband does not like logos and images and stuff on it. And he wanted a real sturdy one, and he wanted them in the dark colors. He likes blue and black and all that. So she did that for him too. She just really talented girl. So love that. I have no problem wearing Cindy's masks, you know. And when I go see my mother, I have to wear the N95s, which are suffocating. But I go through it because I love my mother. So I want to go see my mother. Okay, let's see. The Nully. Love that ride at night. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Well, and see, you can ride it at night. If you have a pass, you can pop in, ride the ride, leave. Get an ice cream and leave. Janet says again, it's not required yet, but it will be in the future, or proof of a test. She's saying it again for you. I was there from Wednesday till Saturday, and they didn't require it all. They didn't require it, and all cabs, she writes. Not sure what that means, but she'll explain to me. I like watching people and trying to figure out what they do for a living. There you go. See, Deanna? Deanna is telling you all kinds of ways to do it, you know. Janet says, also, not all cast members are required. Oh, really? I know a few who aren't, but they're required to get a test weekly. That may be where I got a little mixed up. So thank you, Janet, for setting me straight, because I thought they all had to be vaccinated, but that makes sense. You're tested regularly, or you're vaccinated. You know, yeah, they ask. Yes, I'll bet they do. When I go to see my mother, she asked if I had a proof of vaccination, and could she record it on record at my mom's convalescent hospital, and I was more than happy to do that. But I'm not in a situation where I feel this is a violation of my medical history, okay? My mindset is different. That's all I'm saying. You want to know if I'm vaccinated or not? Here you go, baby. I'm vaccinated, and power to you. Like Leo says, we're getting the booster. Yeah. Because we want this gone, baby. And we don't think it's going to be gone. But we do want to get it to where it's no longer full of teeth. We want the pandemic, COVID-19, to not be, but more like the bumble. We want the COVID vaccine to have no teeth So it can't bite you. Like Bumble in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer by the Bass guys, Rankin Bass. Oh, no, okay. Arr, arr. Oh, go away, you silly virus. You can't get me. That's what we want. Okay. So that's why that's why I'm pushing you a bit to get the vaccine because you mean that much to me. Good morning, says Ava. Just got back from 4 days in the parks. Before the release of the new annual passes, it was fabulous, very low crowds. Well, Ava, there's a nice recommendation. Did you hear that, folks? Also, after the passes, 2 girls wrote to me and said they lived in Anaheim and they shot over for an evening meal and they had Disney After Dark and they just loved it. They said it was so much fun. Not a lot of people, cool weather. You see, when you have a pass, you start to experience Disneyland in a different way. And they also said all they did was like, I'm in Anaheim. Let me boop, 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 see if that's available for me to go into the park and check it out. And anybody there? I'm going, and get your appointment and do it. So I may do that. I may test it if I have to go. If we're still having the Red Dot Society Gala on Saturday night, September 11th, I will make sure that I go the next day, maybe, or the morning of, pop into Disneyland, grab my hotel room, and then shoot to the gala. Maybe I'll just make a smorgasbordy day out of it. We'll see. But I've written to the coordinator to see if what they're thinking about, because it's really the indoor events that are saying, let's reconsider this, So that's why I'm waiting to find out. Disney asks too much now, says Leo. I love the Grand Californian, but Disney is taking the few perks away to nickel and dime guests, knowing enough people out there will begrudgingly pay. Yeah, true. But there's so many hotels around that are desperate for you to stay there. I highly, highly, highly recommend that little Best Western that's right at the stoplight at Harbor. I forget what it's called, but your friend, my friend Michael Roman's friend Keith told me about it. I think it was Keith who told me about it, and I love it. It's so great. Right across the street, it's a huge room, huge single room. They're just unbelievable, and they let me keep my car there, so it was very nice of them to do that. They're really sweet and lovely. They usually have a breakfast. But because of the pandemic, it's a little bag with yummy stuff inside. It's just lovely. And then you can walk up that way and grab some breakfast. And for me, I just make sure I'm there early when I'm going to pick up my breakfast, or I go online and order it and say, I'll come and pick it up. And then I walk down the street and pick it up. House of Pancakes, which is my favorite, which said they were open 24 hours, but they lie. They aren't. And now I've just got to find out when they truly are open, because that's where I love to eat breakfast. But at the time I was there back in May, they weren't available. So I went to Denny's. They're my second, I like pancakes. Or French toast. And so I picked it up early and walked out. And it was really neat because cast members were walking their way to work. It's a nice little, Harbor's nice at 6 or 7 in the morning. It's very lovely. And then I met my friends and we went in. So you can kind of make an event of it if you want. Your money can be used differently. But now with the pass, I don't know that I'll grab a room. But like I said, I was going to have the Disneyana event. I was meeting people there. I had the gala. I had a lot of stuff happening this weekend of September 11th. And so now, the one thing is canceled. I don't know if the other thing is going to be canceled or not. So I got to find out, or postponed, or made to be online. Yeah. So I'll find out. And if they say it's postponed or canceled, they'll probably let the room go. But if they're going to have it, I'll probably keep the room anyway, because the event runs late. And driving home sometimes at night is not as safe as if you just wait till the next day. I'm just saying. Sometimes it's nice to get a good sleep before you do it. So you are right. Some begrudgingly pay because they got you cuffed, don't they? And they're pulling you in. Yeah. But you know what? There's another word for that, and it's called Apple. I love Apple products. I have the iPad, the iPhone, the MacBook Pro. The reason I do is because they all talk to each other and they make my life so convenient that, Leo, I pay for it. Yes, to buy a PC is a lot less expensive, and they have them where they draw on the screen and all that kind of stuff, but they don't connect like Apple products connect, and I don't know that they ever will. And it's so easy. I buy a phone, I upload all the information on my old phone and then I download it into my phone and I'm done, and they go, oh, there's a couple of new things you got to see and you're out in like 10 minutes. That's my life. I don't want my life to be about the electronics. I want my life to be about sculpting, drawing, and painting and teaching you and talking to you guys, not this stuff. I know I look real professional. Thank you if you think that. But the reality of it is, it's because someone has made it so that I'm not dying and stressing over how to do it. Otherwise, I'll tell you, I'm a child. I'm a big baby when it comes in. I don't want to do that no more. Yeah, that's me. So if that's you, you can still do it. You can still do this stuff, but you just have to have someone who works with you and helps you, teaches you as you can be taught, because I'm a 5-year-old. I'm a big baby. So Cindy says, agreed. I don't think she agreed with Big Baby, though. Stephanie says Disney needs to keep the genie in the lamp. You guys are so clever. And now that I'm looking at Stephanie, I should have said something at the very beginning. Forgive me, forgive me, forgive me. Those of you who have stick around are going to hear it. I really should have said it at the top of the hour. This shows you it's Monday for me. Everyone, I am teaching a pumpkin sculpting class. Yes, you heard it. A pumpkin sculpting class live. Live. Live in Anaheim. So remember, I was suggesting you make a day of it. It's October 30th. We're going to start at 9 o'clock, a little mixer where you pick out you'll choose your pumpkin, and then we'll get down to sculpting. Now, it basically only takes me about 2 to 3 hours to teach you how to sculpt a pumpkin, all right? But you can stay till God turns the lights out. You can hang out with me. There's going to be food. And it's going to be wonderful. We are social distancing. Only 30 people can go. $75 a person. That includes your pumpkin, because I want to pick it for you. Make sure you got a nice, fun pumpkin to work on. And then you can use my tools to carve it, okay? So those of you who did not realize that I have been a judge on the Food Network's Outrageous Pumpkin Show since 2005, I've been a judge with that show. It did a couple of changes and stuff, but they like me as a judge, and I'm grateful that they like me as a judge. And I whenever they have it, they ask me back. I can't say any more about the current situation of the pumpkin show, but my point is, if you want to sculpt pumpkins from one of the judges, and here are some examples of what I do. Let me see if I'm looking for my lady. Let me just do this right. Where is she? Why do I only have the illuminated version of the lady? Oh, well, I'll do this lady anyway. I mean, I usually have her unlit. Another thing I got to learn. Anyway, here they are. This is a sculpted pumpkin. So you may have watched that show. If you have, you've seen how they sculpt. Well, I sit and teach you how to do it. Okay? I teach you how to sculpt like you in pumpkins, but like them, sort of, okay? Live on October 30th in Anaheim. So we are 5 miles from the park, which means you could do a park thing, sculpt your little punky, and then do a park thing, or do it on Friday and come sculpt your punky on Saturday and have a great time with us. It's going to be great. It's $75. These are some examples of what you can do. I used to teach at a pumpkin patch. That pumpkin patch is now retired. But trust me, you can sculpt like this. Believe me. Believe me when I tell you, whatever you want to bring, I'll help you sculpt, even weird stuff. So here's a class. I hope I can get some pumpkins about this size for you. A hell of a deal if I can. Heck of a deal if I can. Anyway, here we are. And this is one of my students, Cameron. He has been with me since he was 9. Now he's in his 20s, and he does tiki pumpkins. So there you go. First-time student, me, etc., etc. So I hope you will be a part of it. If you are not in Southern California and you can't make the live class for $75, non-refundable, by the way, because once I buy the pumpkins and the tools, I'm not going to give you your money back. And honestly, as soon as you do it, you're in. So make sure you want to do it. Okay. Make sure the date works for you, because I'm not refunding the money. Okay. All right. Okay. And virtually the weekend before, which is the 23rd, I will be doing a virtual class for $40. Why? Because you got to find your own pumpkin. I will help you find your own pumpkin and talk to you about tools, because I won't be there to talk to you one-on-one. But if you can make it to the live class, go to terriharden.com, click on event schedule, pumpkin classes, and check it out. We already have 10 students and we're only taking 30. So if you want to do this, don't sit in the Barky Lounger and fall asleep watching your favorite Disney Plus show. Get on, get in, so you can be sure and do it, okay? It's the first live that I'm doing, because I didn't do a live last year because of the pandemic. So this one we're doing, we've got the social distancing down. It's outdoors. It's going to be fun, and it's close to Disneyland. So you could do your pumpkin thing and then go have that dinner or whatever over at Disneyland, California Adventure, or Downtown Disney if you wanted to. You can make an event of it. People are coming from across. I've got someone coming from Denver. They're coming from all points to sculpt in this class. So I hope you will join me live on the 30th. If not, join me virtually on the 23rd. Okay. And if you have any questions, just hit me up on the questions. You can do it in the Ask Me Anything, or message me, or email me, terri@terriharden.com. You can do it, okay? However you can reach me. I can see that, Leo says, but wonderful limited edition items can be made. The problem is that few people in the company have any idea what the guest customers want. Why is that? We'll say in a minute. The company has also become drunk on cheap items they can sell at overinflated prices. How much do you think a collectible popcorn container costs for a company to make? I guarantee you it's less than $1. Yeah, Leo brings up a lot of points here. And that is, they used to have, what did they call that, Leo? They used to have people that were the Disney Advisory Council. Wasn't that what it's called, Leo? Where fans were picked by Disney to let them know what fans like and what fans want. Yeah, now they follow us. They follow me. They know that people like the hitchhiking ghosts. Yeah. Yeah, they'll do that, or they'll see, oh, Jiminy looks like a good, they'll watch social media, and sometimes they'll use it, sometimes they won't. It's not easy to reproduce everything that we're doing in the fan world, but if they can, they will. And why not? It's their product. So, but with me sculpting, it's 50% mine. Let's not get into that. But the point is that Leo's right. It would be great if they took a council of fans and they asked fans what they think the fans want. I call it Terri's Tribe on Patreon, because I'm asking now. It doesn't mean I won't ask you here publicly. I will. But a lot of the early decision making is with my tribe. I mean, I'm not going to lie. The tribe is what helps me to get it narrowed down to who's on first. Who should I sculpt first? Okay. So coming soon is the Cheshire Cat. And that was because just a small vote, and the Cheshire Cat won. So the Cheshire Cat will be out December, January, hopefully, which is another reason I'm working like crazy on the Rolly Crump chess set. Rolly Crump, as you know, 91 years old, Disney legend, does the Museum of the Weird, and has hit me with the little magic wand and said, Terri, would you sculpt some of my stuff? And I am. And I'm honored and excited. So, yeah, so lots of reasons to join the tribe. Patreon.com/Terri Harden, or go to patreon.com and put Terri Harden in the search engine and you'll find it. But for $5 a month, $60 a year, you can be a part of the tribe. And I always over deliver. So I hope you join us. Your voice needs to be heard. Thank you for that, Leo, because that's exactly true. You say that like weird is a bad thing. No. I wear it like a badge. It's somewhere. If I had a tattoo, that would be my tattoo. Weird. So no, I don't mean it that way for sure. Look at all the free money Disneyland makes from its $25 and parking. Yeah, baby. Remember $5 parking? I remember free parking for AAA members. I know, right? I know, which is why parking is so essential to me, because I want the free parking. Because Disney keeps, it's like the forever stamp that you get from the post office. You remember when the forever stamp started, it was like 55 cents. Now, what is it, $1 something? I don't know, but it's a lot, right? So I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I spoke with my tribe earlier today, and I was saying I mailed stuff out to them, because every once in a while I'll mail stuff out. We have a little giveaway, and I want to mail it out. And I worked really hard to mail it out. Pardon me. I noticed my fingernails were really creepy, so I'm uncreeperizing them. Yeah, that's better. But I told him that I raced on Saturday to send stuff out, because Sunday they raised the prices. But if you have the forever stamp, you don't have to worry, because forever. So, that's kind of the reason I like that parking pass, because if Disney decides, in the middle of the time before my renewal to jack that up to $30 or whatever, I'm still good. And the way they're going, Leo, that's possible, isn't it? Absolutely. Cindy, sadly, you can't do spontaneous anymore. Living just 6 or 7 miles from the park, I can pop in just to watch a parade or get ice cream. Spur of the moment, I don't think that's going to happen now with the reservations being. Cindy, it can. I've talked to some girls that are just like you, just from the park. What they do is they go on the app. This is what they told me. See, I'm always asking you all for hacks. Talk to me about how to do stuff, okay? And I don't necessarily know what the question's going to be. So I don't necessarily say, hey, could you help me with A, B, C, D, F, G, I? A lot of times I may not know the question, but you know that I'm always curious about if you've got some shortcuts or whatever, or some things to lay on me, inspiring, right? So Cindy, these two wonderful people told me that they go on the app, they see if they can make an appointment for day of, if it's lit or not lit. I haven't made an appointment yet. That because you have an annual pass, they'll let you do it. And you just tap that day and you pop over there for the evening. So they say that's a new thing about the pass, and that there's nobody in the park. So, sweetie, I would try that. I mean, I'm going to try it. Well, actually, I'm not going to try it. I'm going to see about going once I know if the gala is going to be there. Then I'll see if that day is free. If it's not free, I'm not going to cry in my coffee. There's a million other days, right? So that can be cool. I'm excited. I'm excited to find out this reservations. I was worried about the reservation system, but now, like some people could say, Terry, I'm in the park. We're here for 3 days. Can you see if you can get a reservation to get in? And I would say, yeah, I'll try, and then I'll look to see, because it's just me. Just like a lot of times, Cindy, it would be just you. So, we could say we're going to meet in the park and have a coffee, Cindy, and we could look and see what day works. And there we are together having a coffee in the park. See, there's a lot of benefits to that pass now. You can go for an hour, you can go for a day, it's just wonderful, especially if you live near Anaheim. If you were in Anaheim, I definitely would get a pass, because I'd be going there a lot. I think there's going to be days that nobody's interested in going, and you can just pop in there and enjoy it. It's going to be like the olden days. There was once a time through the 1980s that you could get a shopping pass yes, I remember that, free of charge for 2 hours. Boy, that's taken me back, Leo. I remember that. I joined Imagineering just before they had the 35th anniversary. And they gave me, as an Imagineer, a silver pass, which allowed me to take 3 people into the park anytime I wanted, because I was an Imagineer. So it was the first time I learned that I saw Disney from different eyes. I saw Disney, I experienced Disney through completely different eyes. I would go there at night and see it at twilight and walk around and look at things like the fountain by Snow White's Wishing Well and check out the castle and and sit and have an ice cream cone, sit on a bench and have an ice cream cone before I went on home or something. And it was just spectacular. And I think you might be seeing those days come back. We'll see. So Cindy, I think there's going to be a lot you can report on, and I think you'll enjoy it. I think you're gonna have a good time. Oh, are you going to Red Dot? We got to find out if it's actually happening. My fingers are crossed. I just wrote. They haven't told me yet, but I'm hoping it won't be postponed or just put online virtual. But I'll watch it virtual if it's virtual, Cindy. I will. It's hard as a non-local trying to squeeze everything into a few days at the parks. I don't like paying more, but Genie Plus makes me feel like I have a better chance to do everything. Holly makes a good point. Okay, so let's talk. Here is Holly, bless her heart. She's also a tribe member, and I love her voice. Holly has 2 lovely little children. She is a family of 4, and they live outside of the Disney Circle. So she's not in Anaheim. She can't go anytime she wants. She has 2 little kids that are in school, a husband that works, and she works. So now you have the opportunity to see Disneyland with your children, and you've got 2 days. This is where the lightning line could be a real benefit to you if you could afford it. Because here's what she's doing, and here's what you could do if you don't live in California. You could plan a vacation. I'm going to plan a Disney vacation. Why? Because my kids like Disneyland and I like Disneyland. Okay. So I'm going to plan a Disney vacation, and you make the decision 2 years before, 1 year before, and you put a jar or you open a bank account and you throw your change in it, your dollars in it, you make a decision to have 1 less Starbucks coffee, whatever, and you're putting it in the vacation fund. And in the fund on your list is, what do we need for the Disney vacation? And Holly might have things like, we got to stay at a hotel on property, or maybe she doesn't need to stay at a hotel on property because who cares? How many times are we going to be in the hotel? On the other hand, she has little children, and if her little children like to swim, maybe she does stay on property. Maybe she says, Disneyland Hotel, let's check out and see what the prices are at Disneyland Hotel. And if we can get one that sort of faces the pool, and we can go and the kids can be flopping around and swimming, and I can relax and have a cocktail, get some sun, or visit Trader Sam's or whatever. So Disneyland Hotel on there, check. Or maybe it's the Grand Californian, check. That's going to be some bank, but you plan it, right? And then you plan, I'm going to fly. So you got to plan the flight. Then you plan, you got to be in the park. Maybe you're only going to be there 1 day. Maybe you're only going to be there 2 days. That fast pass, let me say that again, Genie Plus Pass starts to sound good. Okay. So a lot of us think it's terrible, but here's Holly saying, in certain circumstances, this could be a godsend, because now my children, who are young enough to be all about the attractions when you're at Disneyland, can bounce like little bees, a buzz, 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 and hit every flower because she's got the pass. The only caution I would say, Holly, is make sure that the rides that your children's love are included in that $20 a day pass. Yeah, just make sure they're in there. I'm sure you can find it on the app or on the website, or you can call. Calling will take forever, though, but still, you can find out one way or another, or ask on, what you can do? You can ask on our Zoom call, because she's part of the tribe. And we have a few cast members on that are members of the tribe. So you could ask, and I'll bet you they could tell you, and that would save you a lot of waiting or watching the fish assemble, or watching the Space Mountain thing spin, or watching the Big Thunder Train. You might just talk to us on Zoom on Wednesdays. But I think she makes a really good point here, which is why I'm taking the time to say that absolutely. I'm just going over there all the time on my own, and I don't have any kids. Well, my kids are grown, but there's a reason you would get that pass, right? So not all people, for the most part, if you're here and you're going a lot, yeah, that's crazy to add on top of it. Would Holly like it not to be extra? Sure, she would. But she's saying to have the opportunity to buy it so that she can go through a bunch of rides, because she has little kids that's what they want to do, and then get back to swimming. She's got it right. Right. Good, Dolly. Thank you for doing that. I can always count on her. You are right, Cindy. We used to love to do the same thing. See, Disney has created a feeling of stress around the vacation that makes me feel like I have to do all that, feel like I have to do pay for things. Yeah. I know, sweetie. I know. Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. Well, when you come out, you need to take time for us to get together, and we'll go someplace that, your kids will like. We won't take them to the Ritz or anything. We'll go to a place where they have. I remember that I had two stepchildren, and the mother would always get mad at them because they wouldn't eat things like peas, which to this day I find peas disgusting. Not the flavor, but the way they explode in your yuck. Anyway, I digress. I'm like Ted Lasso. I'm digressing. But the mother used to complain to me that her children would not eat the food, and me being a 5-year-old up here, I made. Have you ever made the beef stew? And the requirement is you eat it with a biscuit. You can't use a fork or spoon. You have to eat the beef stew with a biscuit. Oh my God! It was I could not only get the young children who were with me to eat, and I was the stepmom, not the mom. Not only could I get them to eat it, but they would eat in the pot. Like they would like jump in the pot with them because they loved eating with biscuits. So you got to think like a kid. If the child is not eating, you got to think of what foods entice a child to eat. They're not usually cool. A lot of times they can be bad for you. So you got to figure out fun ways for them to eat food that's good for them, so that when they get out there and they're chicken McNuggeting out, that you're like, fried food. I don't want to put that in my kid. But, how many kids are going to go, yay, kale? So you just got to figure out. Like a friend of mine, she does these delicious kale chips, and the kids just gobble up the kale chips. But again, this is someone who's saying, how can I make them kid-friendly fun? And that's what you got to do. And so we got to go to a place where the kids can eat, where the food is fun, or they'll just be sitting there bored, like wanting to go to sleep because the restaurant is so dull. I remember when they took kids to Brennan's, the jazz club. These little kids were like, it was like a root canal. It was so boring. Why would you take little kids there? I guess some little kids might dig it, but most are just, their eyes are crossing. They're looking across at the Rainforest Cafe, or what's that one with the bowling alley, and going, oh, please, can't we do something fun? And I'm right there with them. Michael says, Willie Ito put his name on his art donation. Oh, did he really? See, Willie doesn't know how to follow instructions, but then he's a legend. So do legends follow instructions? Stinker. He's a stinker. Matt Oymet, without a doubt, it's a shame his efforts to get the Disneyland Resort spruced up for the happiest homecoming weren't appreciated as much as his superiors as they would be older Disneyland legends and regular guests. I know, Leo. Yes, I heard about that. I read about that, and that's tough. When you're someone who knows just exactly how to do this and what people will love, and they don't let you do it. Yeah. Oh, Gary, see, I almost wrote something like that on the thumbnail, and I thought it was a bit rough, but I know exactly how you feel. That that says it all, doesn't it, Gary? You're saying it straight up, my friend. Bobberdine, thank you, Terry. You're the first Imagineer to answer that question. I've asked many of your fellow Imagineers, and they don't answer. That's not the first time I've gotten that question. People say that, and I will answer it as truthfully as I can whenever I can, because of that. Because I love you, and I know you're not doing it to, Cindy says, true. Not everybody went back to work. Not only did they not go back to work, but the Disney and a fan club was telling me that the hotel that they were going to host their thing in, that the restaurant, that the hotel staff said, we don't know if we got enough people to help you with your event. We don't know. We won't know till just before, and that might be a no. I think this might also be a reason. I'm guessing now that D23 waited till 2022. because seriously, they got to make sure they have staff in place. They do it at the convention center, and if the convention center isn't properly manned, it could be really bad. It's bad enough when it's properly manned, isn't it, Cindy? Oh Lord, anyone who's been there, that is the biggest mess. Oh, I don't even know. You always need workaround for things these days. Yes, you do, Stephen. That is true. Absolutely true. The Chernobog light up drink cup was pretty special. Oh, I haven't seen that. You'll have to show me that, Stephen. The Chernobog light up drink cup. That sounds kind of fun, actually. Not that I own it, please. I don't own one, but I'd love to see it. So if you've got it, please tag me when you post it. Probably about the Disney dollars every year for my nieces and nephews as a little extra something to go with their gifts. I'm telling you, they're gorgeous. I still have some. I know many of you out there still have some. They are so beautiful. In the Ask Me Anything Friday, if you've not seen Disney dollars, you don't know what the heck we are talking about, and don't feel bad if you don't. Okay? This is a circle, maybe not that you swim in. Now here's a new pond to check out. If you want to see them, give me a holler. I don't know if I can find my Pirates of the Caribbean Disney dollars, but I do have a $10, a $5. I might have a $1. But I'm happy to show them to you if you want to see them. Okay? Just give me a shout out and say you'd like to see them. Okay? Okay, because they are bootyful and they should bring them back. Bring back the Disney dollar. Bring back the Disney dollar. Or invest in a Terry dollar. They even had an El Capitan version. Yes. Guys, trust me. These were phenomenal. I love Harmony Kingdom. I know. Me too. Me too. So to be able to do a Harmony Kingdom, and Disney all the time, they do their version of Harmony Kingdom. When Harmony Kingdom showed boxes, they were kind of intimate. They had like things on top of things. They were so gorgeous. Do I have one here that I love? But then Disney did their version, which is things on top of things until it got really, really insane and crazy. They were fun, but they were the Disney version, and Disney always does that, the Disney version. But that's okay because they're Disney. Why not? Disneyana Situation sounds like it'd be a great name for an event. I have to remember that one. Okay, Paul, it's yours. It's my gift to you, Paul. My first time at the park, 7/18/55. Listen to him bragging. I bought a BOA cashier check for $1 as a cheap souvenir. Let's see what it says. Bank of America cashier's check. Was 10 years old. It was never cashed. There you go. Isn't that cool? When we were at the 50th anniversary for Disneyland, many of us, I think Cindy was there, Leo was there, a lot of us were there for the 50th. There was a lady wearing her original Mickey Mouse ears that she got as a little girl in 1955 on the birthday. They were, with a little circle and everything. We know what they look like, but hers were the deal. Hers were the one. They were in beautiful condition, and there she was wearing them. So awesome. So awesome. And that's what was cool about the 50th is people came back saying, I remember when it opened, I was here, and they're wearing that first walk-in merchandise, which I had none of because, I wasn't around. But it was cool to see stuff like that. The 50th was killer here. It was amazing. I collected a whole lot of Lord Byron floral series before Harmony Kingdom started doing Disney. Yeah. Are they still around? Cindy, is Harmony Kingdom still around or did they disband? I don't know because I haven't looked at them in a while, but I love Harmony Kingdom. That cruise, says Cindy, was so much fun. Yes, Cindy was on the 2005 inaugural cruise with me where I did coffee talks up at the Cove. So I would sit with people and be at the Cove for a coffee talk. And to many people's surprise, one of the people, whoops, sorry about that. I cut something with my foot. Oh, I caught it and it fell on the ground, which I hate. Just give me a minute. My goodness. Oh, I put it up here for a reason and it just got cranky at me. There we go. Okay. That's probably saying time to stand. But Cindy was there. We had these amazing, fun umbrella drinks, which was really cool. But at one point, I did a Cove Talk, and Steve Whitmire was there because the Muppets were doing a stage show, and Steve Whitmire came, and one of the other, I think Drew might have popped in, but Steve was there. And he was sitting on a bar stool in the Cove when we were having our coffee talk, and everybody got a bonus. They got Terry and Steve Whitmire, Kermit the Frog. So it was pretty cool. It was very, very cool. Cindy, that was the bomb. That was. It was so fun. Shirt, shoes, vaccination required, says David. Yeah. And so important. You cannot go far. Cast members and guest relations were in tears because of the behavior of the guests on that inaugural cruise. It was insane. If you ever want to hear that story, ask me anything Fridays. Michael Roman, actually, since you are asking about CEO, I'd have to say Bob Iger, since he was behind so many of the positive changes at DCA, the attraction additions at the WDW resort parks, the plans for Star Wars Galaxy Edge, including the Galactic Star Cruiser Resort, and plans for, plans for Galaxy's Edge, including the Star Cruiser Resort, forging the part of with Chinese officials for Shanghai, which along with Hong Kong might not ultimately be seen as a feather in his cap should the political situation continue to deteriorate. Yes, I still love those two parks. Those two parks are amazing. And Hong Kong is absolutely jaw-dropping. They talk about the Shanghai castle being spectacular. I think it's a big mess. Have you ever heard the story of the blind men who touch an elephant? Each blind man has a different part of the elephant, and they describe what they think the elephant looks like. That's what the castle means to me. It's just, you go from one side, you go, what? It's just a big clash. It's chaos, but it's big. So, it's big. They wanted it big. So it's big. The hotel that Leo is talking about is very expensive to stay into. And if you guys are doing it, let me know if you think it's fun. The idea of the hotel is to stay in the hotel and have a Star Wars experience. To me, this is a fabulous idea. If you want to do that, if you want to run around and have a Star Wars experience like you're in Star Wars universe, I think it's the perfect thing for you. For me, no. Me. I wouldn't mind building it, designing a costume for you if you go. I wouldn't mind making an outfit for you so you really look like you're part of the thing. But I'd rather save my money and see Earth from space. Honestly, that's my bucket list thing. And at, $150,000 to $250,000 to get up there and see it, I got to keep saving my pennies, And that comes to what is the most important to you. Me, Earth from space. You might be sort of Earth from space there. But I don't know that that's going to... people will stay, won't they? They'll stay. And it'll be fine. But not to me. I twist my ear loops. Deanna says, I twist my ear loops on my mask so they don't fog my glasses. Oh, that's nice. That's interesting. That's really interesting. I'm not quite sure what that means. I'm going to have to ask you because I'm not following that, but then I'm a visual person. So you may have to demonstrate that on our Zoom call for Deanna as part of the tribe. So Janet says it posted before I could finish. That's okay. Sometimes that happened. Best Western Plus, I think. We always did it. Yeah, Best Western Plus. I like it. It doesn't have a lot of, bells and whistles. But like I said, how long are you in a hotel? 9 times out of 10 to sleep. Well, I was in it a little longer. I was building stuff. I'm always building stuff in a hotel room. It's my home away from home when I'm working on something. I always bring something with me, and I'm always building. But honestly, that's such a lovely little hotel. They have little snacky foods, and it is nice. It's just nice, and they let you park there for the day. So it's a great hotel. The advisory council was a great idea. That's it. They really should. They really should, because the product was better when the advisory council existed. I was never a part of the advisory council, but I was a part of advisory council decisions when I was sculpting product that you could get in the park. They often would make a suggestion and I'd go, ooh, cool idea. So yeah, I think they should bring them back. Bring back the advisory council, and your work, our work, is done. I use them. It's called Terry's Tribe on Patreon. I remember that it was such a great idea. Yes, it was. It was an excellent idea. Boy, we are rolling, guys. We are 2 hours, and usually my Mondays are short and sweet, and I might start making them short and sweet, but right now I'm enjoying your comments. So as long as I'm having fun and you're having fun, we're having fun. Why not? The group you're thinking of, yeah, that's what she says. Thinking of is the Creative Advisory Council. I did once and love it. So Cindy was part of it. Okay. I'm sure Disney got a lot of useful info. I'm sure they did. I think there are a few too many people at parks these days that have the same attitude as DCL person you dealt with about the Panama Canal. Yeah. Talk to the hand. I know what I'm doing. Exactly. Disney Cruise Lines. Yeah, this was sad because what happened? Yeah, the moral of the story is she looked at me like she was drowning by the time it was over. But like I said, if you want me to go into details of that story, ask me on Ask Me Anything Friday, and I will tell you that story. Oh my Lord. Thank you for the info. I'll let my friend Leslie know since we were bummed out about it. Yes, there have been a lot of times I would go just me. Yeah, Cindy, yeah. The pass does that for you. And once you've invested in a pass, you want to get your money's worth, so you do the math. But the interesting thing is if you got the main one, which is a Dream Key Pass, I think, and then I don't know what the second one below it is, but the second one gives you 50% parking. But if you go so many times, it will have paid for the upgrade to the other one, and then you get full parking all the time. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I went for the the Golden Globe, was because parking is what I need. Okay, I don't buy a lot of merchandise there, not anymore. I'm there to see you guys, to sit and see my friends. Hey, what's up? What's happening? And because of that, I'm going all the time, and I think I can still do it. In fact, maybe I should test it, go in here and see what appointments are available. Let me just look at that right now. So if I wanted to go today, I have no idea what happened is. There is a Google Meet link to the invitation. Oops, it was supposed to be at 12 o'clock. I should have been off of here, guys, because it looks like I was supposed to have a meeting with someone, and I was thinking it was 12:30. I'm going to ask him if I can do 1 o'clock. Just let me. He's probably like, where is that girl? I thought I was going to be off, but you guys are so wonderfully chatty today. Let me just say if we can talk at 12:30, and I'll finish up here. Let me just talk to him for a minute. I'm still broadcasting. Can we do 12:30? There we go. And we'll see what he says. I got 9 people writing. Oh, that's great. Okay, great. Everybody wants something today. This is Monday. Seriously, don't forget your girls. So funny. So adorable. Yeah, that's sweet of him. Yes. Okay, so my guy says yes, so let's. You guys are just so much fun. I don't want to leave you. Okay, some of us handicapped can't handle standing in the sun too long. Exactly. I love this online stuff. I think this online stuff is a great thing. There's still 5. Who the heck is chatting for 5? I don't know. I don't think it's him. Oh. Okay. Sorry. Mondays are so crazy. And when you see them, you go, I'm lost. I don't get it. I don't understand it. It pops up and you're like, why is it popping up? Cindy says, sorry for the typo. It should have said, I always buy Disney dollars every year for my nieces and nephews. A little extra something. I knew what you meant. I knew what you meant. Yes, I did. But anyway, no, I don't think they are. I believe in division of Disney bought them out and then discontinued them. I think so too. I agree. And like I said, I think the Disney dollars should come back. I think that if you invest in a pass, you're going to use it and not let it be too much. I have people that are like the ones here that I mean, added up and talked about, like Deanna, she's really good with math, that just divided into the pass how many visits to Disneyland. And I said, start with parking. How much, $25 each time you park your car. How many times into Disneyland times how much. These passes are a great deal if you go a lot. If you're like my husband who goes once in a green moon on alternate New Year's, then no. But the other one, that's the way it is. So believe it or not, guys, we have been speaking for 2 hours, almost 3 hours. And I can't thank you enough for spending the morning with me. I am used to getting on and getting off in the past couple of broadcasts. And you just make me feel terrific that you stayed for this long. And thank you for that. I might be doing a little bit shorter broadcasts and then taking any questions you have and scooping them over to the Ask Me Anything Friday. And then that will be the long one. But there is a transition because many of you are getting out and about and a lot less of you are coming here during my live. But then today, a lot of you showed up. So it's like the tide. Sometimes you're in and you're in the mood and sometimes maybe not. So we'll keep chatting. We'll keep talking. We'll keep figuring it out. Join the tribe if you'd like to, because that's where your voice can really be heard and you can be Terri's advisory committee. I'd really appreciate that. And it would be great to see you. So, so let's see what Cindy says. Should have said. Then she said, discontinued. Then she said she didn't get the dream key. She got the next one now. Now she's a believer, not a trace of doubt in her mind. Good. Yay, Cindy. What I'm going to do is test. What I'll do is as soon as I get off of here, I will try to get an appointment. I'll see if there's an appointment because, they have their calendar and I guess they're either lit or not lit if they're full. And I'm going to see, are they full today? And if they're not full today, you can kind of know that you could make an appointment like now and then go meet people for dinner. So that's kind of, maybe they talk to you Sunday and you go, you want to see if Monday's free? And you go, yeah, let's see if Monday's free. And then you look there and then go for Monday. So the pass is going to give you some flexibility. So I think you're really going to enjoy it. Have a great week, Deanna. Everyone have a great week. Been a great addition. Thank you, Bonnie, for saying that. I sit here and talk to the camera. You're never true. You never know if you guys, I know you guys today were having a great time. Thank you, Michelle, for saying that. Thank you guys for commenting. Thank you for interacting. I know that's a monkey song. Yes, I do. I'm a believer. See? I remember. Guys, do something nice for someone else. It'll make you feel so much better. What a joy. What an excitement. How happy I am that you joined me today. It was just so much fun for you to comment, for you to chat with me about this. For you, I want to thank each and every one of you for giving me your opinions and being sweet to each other. This is one of the things that you'll find on this YouTube channel is that there is a lot of love and about this much hate. So if you're sick and tired of subscribing to a channel or being part of a group where you got these haters coming in and being mean and nasty, the people who are here with love, they're going to nail those people to the ground. So come and join us if you want. Subscribe if you like. And I hope to see you in the tribe if you are so inclined. Okay? All right. Have a great day. Thank you, Cindy, for joining me. I love you. Rest of the day with your nephew. Yay! Go check that out, Cindy. I think you're going to find that pass is going to be real gold. All right. Love you bunches. Hugs and love. We'll see you soon.